Hi. Sorry, don't mind that the game showed up on the starting screen. Not sure why that happened. But hi. Welcome in. Welcome back to 999. 9 doors, 9 persons, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. I can read. No, I can't. We all know that we can't. Specifically me. We're back. We're here. They're gonna tell us the rules again. And it's fine. Ugh. But, I think we left off in the kitchen? I think that's... Oh. No. No. Continue. There we go. Yeah, B-deck kitchen. So yeah, we're in the kitchen. We're trying to find a way out. And I don't think we started at all. So I think it's still very like untouched. New, untouched. Total of 10 plates. If you flip them over, they look like hats. Middle is super deep for a plate. There's soup plates. Oh fuck yeah. They're so versatile actually. They're made that way so the soup doesn't spill. If we ever get out of here, you should treat yourself to a nice dinner out. What makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something like that? That's crazy. I think there are 15. I'm assuming they're for seafood. How the hell can you tell that? It looks just like any other place from the 99-cent store. If you ever take a lady out to dinner, you're going to embarrass yourself. I feel sorry for June. Why in the hell are you bringing up June? The lady doth protest too much, methinks. You're not terribly subtle. Plates are for serving meat. Ugh, you're really ignorant, aren't you? It's not like I need to know this crap. Jeez. 9. For appetizers. Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. Okay. Well, excuse me, princess. It's a voucher at the end of the counter. Voucher doesn't match the number of plates on the table. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F on the voucher. And the plates on the table are 9 appetizers, 16 meat, 10 soup, and 15 seafood. Maybe they're using hexadecimal here. And hexadecimal is... It's a number system that goes 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. You're familiar with base 10, right? That's the normal system of numbers. The base 10 equivalents for hexadecimal numbers could go like this. A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, F is 15, and 10 is 16. The 10 becomes 16 in base 10. And that sounds strange, but you can think of it as 6 letters added onto the normal number. I can't read. I know it sounds strange, but you can think of it as just 6 letters added on the normal number system after 9. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 10, 16, and so on. I think I get it. Yeah, we should... Okay, so we're here. There was... Not that. That, you know what? That's fair. I thought there was a one for, dialogue. 9 is 9, even hexadecimal. 10 so be... 10 is A. Okay, yeah, 15 be F. 16 is 10. Okay. This table looks really old-fashioned. Probably means that this is an old boat. It's a lot of notes. They got a bunch of stuff written on them, but it doesn't look like a code or anything like that. Oh, we can enter here. So much stuff in here, a whole lot of cans. It's probably a pantry. So much cheese. Something behind the cheese. You're right. Why don't we move some of the cheese? Alright guys, time to move it. June and I need to look behind you. It's a little green bottle on the back. Okay. There's milk in here. Milk in an iron barrel. Judging by the rust, it's probably really old. Maybe we shouldn't open it. I don't think it'd be a pretty sight. Probably not. Wait, what? There's a what? Knife in the box.
A rusty knife?
Oh, why do we suddenly have voice acting?
I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this.
It's futile.
Futile?
You know, a waste, useless, pointless.
Meh.
Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up?
Oh, no reason really. I was just thinking about futility.
Uh-huh. Like a normal person would. Yes, of course.
Huh? Why were you thinking about futility?
Well, it has something to do with the Titanic.
The Titanic?
Again?
Yep. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted?
Actually, yes, I have heard that.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. There was a novel that had a bunch of stuff in it that described the sinking of the Titanic before it actually sank.
Yeah, that's the one. The title of the novel is Futility.
I heard other things, not the novel, but I had heard of various psychics and mediums that all had the ability to see into the future, which the credibility's kind of sketchy on that, but a handful of them were consistently correct of like predicting these horrible tragedies across the world. 9/11 was predicted, the sinking of Titanic was predicted, some like various other, not something as grand as like the world wars, but definitely very tragic, earth-shattering, history-making tragedies were predicted by various mediums.
It was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But
I know. I mean, I didn't know the name of the book, but the story was the same, right? It was just like what happened on the Titanic?
yeah,
Well, I heard it was all a hoax.
a hoax.
I heard that the stuff that matched up to the Titanic so well was actually added after it sank. Apparently, the only thing that was the same originally was that a boat ran into an iceberg and sank.
Hi Nobu, welcome in.
But the novel was published in 1898, 14 years before the accident.
Like I said, that was the first print of the book. 14 years later, the author heard about what happened to the Titanic. He figured that was his chance, you know? He just went back and changed some stuff in his novel, so that it matched the Titanic exactly.
Really?
Really. There's no such thing as premonitions or any of that stuff.
I don't know. Deja vu exists, and we can't explain that.
But that wasn't the only book that predicted the Titanic sinking.
It wasn't?
Yep. There were two other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead. Both of them before the accident.
Alright.
One in 1886 and one in 1892.
Why is this dude really fascinated on sinking large boats?
Stead wrote two stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, two ships collided. Many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank.
Hi Mark, how's it going, gamer? You winning the Nonary Games? If by winning you mean that I'm talking to June about people predicting how the Titanic sank, sure. We also found a lot of cheese, so I count that as a win.
I don't know. I mean, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships.
Sounds like these games. Holy fuck, cheese! Hi, Ryan. Yeah, we found the fucking motherload of cheese.
Right, I knew you'd say that.
Hmm?
Hmm? Hmm? Sorry. I feel like I do that on a regular basis where I just make the question mark noise. Hmm?
But what if Stead had some sort of special powers?
I don't know, he could have been a medium.
To be more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing?
Alright, what the fuck does that mean?
What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about when someone's possessed by a spirit and then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing?
I mean, like, it's a game 3 with some of the goofiest animation you've ever seen. I've seen game 3. It definitely has some interesting animations. I'll say that much.
Yes.
I've seen all of them. I've seen all the games to some degree. Yeah. It's something.
What do you mean, yes? That stuff's a load of bull.
But Jumpy, you said you believe in curses.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I believe in spirits. God.
Come on, that's totally different.
Yeah. I mean, well, it is. He's not wrong. The memes about Game 3 were absolute fire when it came out. Oh, I believe it. I so believe it.
Okay, let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing isn't a total load.
Hypothetically, of course. Like, it's definitely a load of bullshit, but let's humor you. What if, hypothetically, it could be real?
These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When this Stead dude wrote his thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet.
Yeah, because the Titanic wasn't even fucking built until several years after the book was published.
So if automatic writing is about being possessed by dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff?
Obviously a ghost from the future. Duh.
That's not it.
What's not it?
Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit.
A spear was possessed by Stead. That's crazy.
He was doing the possessing.
Are you fucking kidding me? No. 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 Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, alright, sure. A live human being possessed a spirit. Holy shit, you're possessed by the dude who wrote the game. Oh my god. Oh shit, he died. Wait. Oh god. Oh. Stop humming.
What are you smoking?
Thank you.
William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic.
You just out into Kotaru Chikoshi's brain with that. Are you telling me this dude had deja vu? Because that's real. That's a real thing. People have had it. I've had it many times in my life for like the dumbest shit, but it's real. It happens. Are you saying he's had deja vu about something 14 years in the future? and then he wrote a book on it because he wasn't possessed or he wasn't possessing anyone. That's different.
He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes 20 years before it happened.
Chat, I really hate to break the news to you. I have a vague sense that I've had deja vu before, but I can't explain why. Yeah, that is a phenomenon. That is a human phenomenon that we can currently say has happened. I love how half the story of this game is just some shit that the writer found on Wikipedia that thought sounded cool. No! I mean, okay. I get it. Because I know the plot of the story. I know the plot of the game. I haven't played it, but I know the plot of it. So I can understand where, like, some of this is coming from with the fucking, whatever the fuck is called. The not quite telepathy, but, like, a shared experience telepathy, whatever the fuck thing. So, like, I understand it. Like, this is sort of, like, trying to connect that into there in, like, a weird, like, kind of relevant, kind of not relevant thing. So I understand it, but to say that a human being that was alive wrote a book about the Titanic sinking and then claiming that the live human person possessed something else that was 20 years in the future. Just it's deja vu. He had deja vu. He had this premonition. He had this dream, this seeing. Somehow he had this experience. It was so vivid in his mind. He's like, holy shit, I gotta write a story about this. This is gonna be fantastic and tragic. Just say it's deja vu. Don't say that is a live person that possessed something else.
Why don't we talk about this okay?
Just completely like, yeah, haha. Oh, hey, look at that thing over there. That's completely diverting the conversation.
Huh? But...
Come on, let's get back to it.
And this all happened, this all started because we found a fucking rusty knife. This piece of shit right here. This stupid shit is what prompted. I was gonna say proctored and prompted, and it didn't work. Prompted that conversation. This stupid piece of shit. Okay, cool. Just want to check. Want to make sure. It's Gouda cheese, the most famous Dutch cheese. If you don't cut open the casing, it usually won't go bad. So you can store it at room temperature for quite a while. So you can eat this, probably. That is actually true. For the cheeses that have like this really thick rind, that's how you ferment them. Actually, you age them in this thick rind, and the more that they age, the more rich and flavorful they get. So you can actually just have them. And they're fine. Genuinely, like actually they're fine. So that actually is safe to eat. It's a bolt. And it's really rusty. Oh, sick. Well, let's even open. We won't know till we try. Let's give it a shot. See if we're gonna come out. Damn. No dice. Cool, thanks. Sink. It's still got water in it. There's still a couple plates in there, but I don't think they're gonna help us much. We have a whetstone. Don't. Play on the knife is getting sharper by the second. Should be able to cut something pretty good with this. Oh, with Lotus and June now? Yeah, we're with Lotus, June, and Santa. Santa, depending on how you want to view that. Maybe the stable is for prepping food. There are plates everywhere. Countertop. There's a rolling pin and a colander here. Nothing useful. Hey, rolling pin is a good weapon. It's going. Do you think that's all part of Zero's plan? Probably. Kind of hard to believe there's a chef on board somewhere. Wonder what the drawer is. You see the metal grate on top of the grill. They make it like that so that the fat and juices drip off the meat while it cooks. Yeah, this is the collection tray. Looks like the area under the plate opens up. No, you can't. I already checked. It's sealed shut. I think that's where the coal goes. Oh, I meant to hit the arrow. Thank you. Trash can. There's nothing in it. Oh, but rather than being full of rotten food. That's true. Nothing in there. Hey Santa, digging through the trash really suits you. What the hell did you say? Listen, lady, I did you a favor. I knew you'd just piss and moan, so I did it for you. Oh my, I don't recall asking you to do anything. Ugh, I gotta throttle you. What? Huh? The fuck does that mean? Squeeze me? Oh Jesus. Does it feel cold in here? Should. Okay, that's our card reader. Okay, so this is our exit most likely. Yeah. So that's our exit. That's cool. Keypad. Oh, we have numbers. Industrial quality. Can't cook anything with this. Obviously, we can't open it because it's locked. I think throttling someone means to choke them. Okay, that is not what I thought that meant at all. Okay, alright. It's like they're kind of like similar premonition, like beat the fuck out of them, or like beat the shit out of them, but like... not just like choke, just like fight them. Why so serious? Oh, okay. How do you think I am? I can boil eggs too. Oh, she can't cook. Oh no. Alright, what was our numbers? Yeah. What do we have? 9 plates. 10 soup plates. So it'd be 9, 1, 6, 7. No, there's a pattern. Why are there so many plates? No, there's a pattern. Fuck, what was it? Appetizer. Oh, fuck. What was it? Appetizer. Because it wasn't this order. It was a different order. Fuck. Nine, 1, 6, 7. 9, 1, 6, 7. We'll do that order, I guess. Probably you're supposed to use the enter password. Yeah. Oh my god. Well, instead of appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood F. Yeah, you know, the thing I was trying to check earlier, game. So 9, 1. No. 9, 7, 6. Say what? I fucked up. No dice. Oh, what do you mean that's too many numbers? Because then it's 9, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, so that'd be 15, so that'd be 6, and then 10, 16. So it'd be... Can I go back? Looks like the number on the voucher isn't the actual passcode. Yeah? Do I have... I converted the numbers. Do I have to physically convert the numbers? Yeah, 6 and 7. Can I convert the numbers? Am I allowed? Oh my word. So we have 9. Man, I should be writing these fucking numbers down because I'm gonna forget the order that I'm supposed to have them in. Okay, if it's not that, then what the fuck am I looking for? Countertop. Oh, that's the exit? I think we can open it. Did you open that door? What the hell? There's no way I could open that thing. Guess you're getting to that age where your eyes are starting to go, huh? Better watch your mouth, boys. Someone won't live long enough to see that door open. Gotta get out of here and fast. Tank with a pipe coming out of it, nothing really special. Okay. Blah 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 blah. What? Nothing suspicious about that. What am I missing in here? Cause this is rusted shut. So I can't open that. We got that already. We got the oil from here. Can I grab the plates? Yeah. Uh-huh. What am I missing? What part of this am I missing? Chat, am I being stupid? What am I missing here? My favorite games, let's go. Hi Kyler, welcome in. That's too big brain for me. That's I'm like, what the fuck am I missing? I have the numbers. There's no keypad on this door. This is just rusted shut. It's a little bit of oil, come on. Alright, that opened.
Oh, it's cold in here.
Oh no, more voice acting. Never gotten so far as to get her numbers, so I don't know what the next step is after that. Unfortunately not a whole lot. She's I think she's already got her mind on someone for June.
What is this place?
Forgot the US versions had voice acting. I think it's just the Steam versions. I think it's just a re-release. Oh, huh? Oh, there is a log. What the fuck? I scrolled up. Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Are you blind?
It's a freezer.
No shit.
Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me.
I mean, no shame here, but your tummy is exposed. And that's gonna get cold real quick if it's not, you know, covered up.
I'll freeze solid in seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going
Second
to
and third games at least had a voiceover. Okay, well this is the first one, and as far as I'm aware, the original didn't have any voice acting.
Oh, whoa. It's really cold in here.
Yeah, it's a fucking walk-in freezer. We've established it's a walk-in freezer. It's gonna be cold.
Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this.
No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now.
But
Huh?
Oh, sick.
no! Why did it suddenly close?
Man, did Lotus fucking trap us in here?
Ah! The knob's frozen.
That's really fucking fast. How cold is this freezer?
But why?
Just piss on it? Ew. No, we have a lady in the presence. You can't just whip it out and piss on it. What the fuck, Kyler?
It looks like the pipe next to it broke, and...
Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door!
What do you want? What's going on?
The door won't open! Try opening it from that side, please!
Oh, fine. If you say so. Hold on.
That's at nearly 40 C, it'll melt easy. Yeah, but like this thing instant froze, so how fucking cold is it in here? If this water froze, would the piss not also freeze?
It's no use. It won't budge. You've got more people in there. You figure it out.
Man, what the fuck?
Oh.
God damn it.
Anyway, let's find a way out. If we don't get moving, we're gonna be permanent residents.
Alright, it's a fucking freezer. It's not that bad.
Two heads are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yeah, you're right. Let's just take a good look around this room, okay?
Right.
I worked at a restaurant that had a walk-in freezer. It's not that bad to be in there for several minutes. Frozen chicken. Dry ice. Okay.
Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again.
Not super warm. Easily standard room temperature will do it.
Hell if I know. How is that gonna help us anyway?
Oh, well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here.
Carbon dioxide sublimation point is negative 109 degrees.
Yes, because you just happen to know that offhand, like any other person would.
Any warmer than that, and it'll turn into gas. Any lower, and it becomes a solid.
Oh, how do you know that?
Heat it up enough and it go boom. That's true.
Despite my looks, I'm the the queen of random knowledge.
Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off.
Oh, okay. Thank you for, that.
Oh, you're so cold your mouth's going numb?
Yuff, that's right.
I have carbon dioxide sublimation point tattooed on my arm. Fuck yeah,
You're
dude.
just doing that on purpose, aren't you?
Come on, guys. Don't you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first.
How the hell would I know? And how the hell is that gonna help us get out of here?
He wants out the freezer. I don't blame him.
We don't have time for this crap.
But it can turn into a liquid.
In Kelvin, Celsius, or the useless one? I think it's the useless one. I think it's the American one.
carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure.
This isn't really a good time for a chat about science.
But I was wondering the same thing.
Wondering what?
Wondering why carbon dioxide doesn't turn into a liquid unless it's under pressure.
There's like 4 useless ones. Makes sense.
Right? It just seems weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees.
Yeah, this is in Fahrenheit, so it's in useless degrees. It's in American degrees.
So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide?
Well, because water is a compound of hydrogen and oxygen, which are two different gases, and they have two different, you know, sublimation points. Carbon dioxide doesn't have that.
H2O and CO2 are pretty similar.
They're not that similar.
No, they're not. They're totally different substances. Look, guys, if we keep this up, we're just gonna freeze to death. You good with that? You wanna die talking about sublimation and gases? Cause I sure as hell don't.
It sounds like one hell of a time to me. Sign me up.
Now let's get back to work. Assuming you don't want to end up like a pair of ice sculptures.
Oh, but Jumpy.
Why doesn't chocolate taste like vanilla? Actually, fun fact, it can, if you can't smell. If you can strictly only taste, it will taste very similar to vanilla.
There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees.
Why do I have a feeling we're gonna go back to the fucking Pharaoh curse thing?
I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees.
Uh-huh.
Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees?
Fahrenheit.
You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees.
Okay, get to the point. Water that freezes at 96 degrees. Ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Shut the fuck up! sorry,
So
that's
what's
cool.
this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called?
Actually, yeah, I am curious of that, but I really hope it's not gonna go back to the fucking Pharaoh's curse shit. Yeah, they love repeating themselves like 7 times in this version. Yeah, they really do.
I heard it's called Ice 9.
Okay.
Ice 9?
Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author.
Everything goes back to the Pharaoh's curse shit. No, damn it. I didn't want to go back to the Pharaoh's curse. I wonder if I'm crazy, but I don't think they repeat each other so much in the DS version. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists.
Wait, hold up. So is this thing called Ice 9, or is it water?
Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify.
Why do they call it Ice 9 and not 96? Or like, you know, something equivocal.
So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite.
Okay. I feel like the repeating yourself over and over is pretty par for the course for Spike Chunsoft games. Yeah, Danganronpa does it quite a bit too. It's the 9th variation of ice found. Oh. Are you spitting shit at me, or is that true?
They're both made of carbon, right?
Sure.
But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different.
Yes. You know how many things are made out of carbon? A lot. Like, a lot of things are made out of carbon. So, yeah, that's, that's gonna be different.
So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that?
Hate to break it to you. You're made of carbon. Yeah. You know what? People are just like diamonds, right? We're both made out of carbon. Like, we're practically gemstones. And that's why we have Steven Universe. Sorry.
Yep. Have you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin?
Yes, actually,
For
I have.
150 years after the discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it. They did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920,
Ah, yes, right at the peak of the Great Depression in America, right around Prohibition times.
some glycerin on its way to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Scientists around the world wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and asked for seeds. Oh, a seed is a sample of the original crystallized substance.
Yeah, thank you.
With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be easy. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, even the samples nearby did, even though they were tightly sealed.
Huh,
And it
okay.
didn't end there. After that day, it doesn't matter where in the world it is, all glycerin crystallizes naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like, how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating.
Ah, we're back to the fucking telekinesis shit. There's lots of different forms of ice. I think they're at ice 21 now, but for some reason the order they were discovered doesn't match their numbering. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we're back to the fucking brainwaves. Alright.
Communicating in some way that we can't sense.
Uh-huh.
And now it's happening everywhere.
Eh. Was honestly impressed. Was kind of annoyed.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. But,
Alright, genuinely, it is actually really interesting. However,
what does that have to do with Ice 9?
What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean.
A lot like? Oh, that would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees?
I'd like to remind the chat, for anyone that's not paying attention, we're trapped in a freezer and slowly freezing. Ice 9 isn't real.
Man.
It'd be the end of the world. At any rate, we're not gonna have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick.
Thank you, Santa.
Alright guys, I think that's enough of that. I didn't think we'd get quite this far off topic.
I was gonna say someone's fingers are gone by now. You know, maybe, considering like relatively thin shirt, no sleeves, what except for like these like arm warmer things. Decently like layered, right? Like a top and like there's a second shirt underneath. So she might be like okay. It's fabrication. A made up story. Oh yeah, Lotus would be a popsicle by now.
I mean, I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. So seriously, I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland.
Do you mean Greenland?
I freaking hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here.
Whatever Commander Riker says.
Selfish. Ice 9 is interesting and all, but we can discuss it more once we get out of this freezer.
Yeah, shut up. Some frozen meat up there. It looks like pork. Looks like a tag or something. Okay, cool. Everything's frozen in here. Anything else interesting? Is there anything? No, we got everything out of that. Water bottle, that's just frozen. Sturdy rope. Anything else in here that looks useful? Thing, it's covering something. It's frozen solid. I can't flip it over. There's water dripping from the pipe. Wait, what? Water actually seems almost warm. Can I collect the warm water? Am I allowed that? More of a shock? Are we making a fucking bomb out of the... this? No? Okay. Why do we grab two different cuts of meat? Like, what? There's a real thing called Ice 9, IX. It freezes at like -132 Celsius, so it doesn't have the properties described in the game. Huh. So they're just talking shit. Oh, back. Oh, okay. Hey Junpei, did you find some dry ice? Yeah, it's warm water coming out of the pipe. Yeah, I was trying to put it in the fucking bottle. It wasn't letting me. Oh my lord. Hello? Dry ice is too big. You gotta figure out a way to make it smaller then, don't you? Fine. I bash it with the fucking knife. Get the fuck. It had to be the chicken? It couldn't have been the pork or the knife? Because dry ice is really brittle. I couldn't have just like whacked it on the fucking ground? Sure. Okay. So sorry. Awesome. Throw that bitch. Okay, fine. Then we gotta stick the rope on there. That rope on there. Anything else we need to do with the water bottle?
Put water into the bottle with dry ice, and make sure the lid's closed. Now I just have to put this makeshift bomb on the doorknob.
I mean, you're not wrong. It is a makeshift bomb.
Alright, that's set. So, what do we do now?
Fucking duck and cover, genius.
We just need to give it a little, tap. The bottle's already about to pop. If we just throw a rock or something at it, it'll go off all on its own.
A small rock. Alright, this ought to do the trick.
Is that more dry ice?
Ah, some dry ice, huh? Not a bad idea.
You don't raw grab it with your hand. Huh?
Alright guys, stand back. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere.
Yeah, you don't just grab dry ice with your bare hands. That can super damage your hands. What the fuck?
Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius?
I don't just fucking step back from the door.
There isn't really anywhere big enough.
Yeah, there is.
The floor?
Look, right here. We can hide in there.
Or that? The
Come
floor.
on, get inside, quick. Alright, here I go.
You can if you are a little coward. It's not recommended that you grab dry ice unprotected.
3, 4, 5.
Why?
Counting the wrong way.
Oh, oops.
What? What? How do you fuck that up? How? Please. How do you fuck up counting 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3? What in God's gracious earth compelled you to count 3, 4, 5?
That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man.
Sorry, dude. Alright, for real this time. You guys ready?
Things got too serious. Time for silly.
Yes, whenever you're ready.
-2. That was bad silly. -2. Not good.
Just throw the damn thing.
Alright, here I go. 3, 2, 1.
Take cover.
Jumpy! The ice on the door, is it gone?
I don't know. If you open the fucking hatch, I can look.
Yeah, it's gone.
The blast must have shattered it.
Yes. All right. Let's see if it opens.
Hooray! We're out!
I like to imagine that we weren't in like super mortal danger, but also the dry ice was still like pretty frozen, pretty solid.
Move!
Bitch.
Oh, god damn it! Hot, 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 hot! Fuck!
Can't say that. Stop.
Well, you did just grab the grill. What did you think would happen?
You know, that's a valid point.
Hey, where's Lotus?
Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys.
Yeah, and you couldn't have been looking around the room for like any sort of clues? You just kind of sat there and started taking a nap?
What were you doing?
What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting.
You couldn't have tried to like help us from the outside?
We were gonna die.
Oh, yeah?
Her giant dancer titties made her tired. They use a lot of energy or something. As a certified sleepy bitch, I can concur that there's a lot more energy required to maintain those.
But you didn't. So everything worked out all right, didn't
What the hell?
it? Just kidding.
I'll look
It
them
might
for
not
her?
look
Oh,
like
hold
it,
them?
But I wasn't
Yeah.
really worried.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
Oh, don't give me that crap.
I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here, and I'd die too. See?
Sure.
I did all I could.
Yeah, okay.
I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door.
I don't quite believe you, but alright.
But I couldn't find anything. So, all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops?
Fine. But there's one thing I have to ask you.
What's that?
You didn't close the door, did you?
That'd be a bitch move if you did.
What? You think I closed the door on you?
I don't know. You're the only one on the other side.
Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too.
Yeah, I guess so. If she really wanted to kill us, all she had to do was bar the door from the outside.
Man, how tragic would that be if Lotus actually hated us and wanted us to freeze to death? That'd be crazy.
But she didn't. Well, she didn't do anything. She's only lazy, or negligent at least, not an attempted murderer.
Not yet, at least.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Oh, yes, well that's alright. As long as you understand.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, no more screwing around, you two.
Well, weird choice of grammar, but okay.
Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on that fat ass of yours while we were freezing to death.
Sir? Why are you looking at her ass?
How rude! I was plenty busy.
Yeah. How about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go.
DS game, that was 2 freed up bits. True. Hey, do we not... I said, do we not have a fucking steak? Whatever the fuck. I defrost it. Silver pot here. I defrost it. sink with water in it. There's a couple plates in the water. Can I defrost the fucking... There's something in the pork. And I wasn't able to cut it. That's not real. Yeah. We got that. Can I fry it up? Hey, what are you doing? What are you gonna do if that paper burns? Come on, it'll be fine. I mean, it's not like it's gonna burn right away, right? You just gotta keep an eye on it and the paper will be fine. I can argue all I want. I'm gonna keep an eye on this pork. Cool, looks like it's about time. It's gonna try taking the paper out. Jumpy, be careful! Sweet of her to care, but I know what I'm... Ah! See? I told you. What the hell are you doing? Hurry up and take the paper out. It's not coming out. This thing's frozen stiff. I can't get it out. So are we gonna have to cut the meat? Yeah, it looks that way. That's crazy. Where's my fucking knife? I cut the pork. Yippee. C plus 10 plus F. Okay, so we have 10, 11, 12 plus 10 plus 15. 12, 10, 15. 12 plus 10 plus 15. Visual. Cool. Awesome. It's 37. Is there anything on the back of this before I like... No, okay. Yes. Yes, Kyler. Can I help you, sir? Yeah, 10, 11, yeah, 12, 10, 15. Yes. I have a free use calculator. You want to bitch about it? You want to fight me over using a fucking calculator that they give you free use in the game of? Oh my god. At 12. 10. Okay, I see. 37, right? Yeah. So I want the 1? No. Yeah. 12 plus 10 plus 15. It's 37. Oh wait, no it's not. 10's not real, it's 16. Alright, 12 plus 16 plus 15. It's 43, sorry. Cool, thank you. That went well, yippee! Door opened. Saturn keycard. Okay. So we can get in here. Beep beep. You did it! Let's get out of here! Let's go! You found it! Yippee!
I think we've been here before.
Yeah, it's the other side of the gate that we were trying to get to before when we went into the room and we saw the map. Junpei, are you like actively here or are you just like passively here? Like, are you just kind of wandering like a zombie or like are you like paying attention?
The elevators are over there, so that means
We went into the kitchen through that door and came out on this side.
Yes. Like we saw on the map of the ship. And you pointed out that this would lead to the other side of the gate. You weren't in that room for that long. I don't think.
That means the map was right.
You know how you see those like young kid shows that are like trying to teach them common sense and like things about the world? Kind of like Dora the Explorer or like other akin shows. That's what this kind of feels like at the moment. Like as an adult, like you know these things, presumably. But like as a kid you wouldn't, so it's like, oh yeah, like here's the confirmation, like, oh yeah, this is how you read a map, and this is like, it worked out, it's how it reads, it was true. As an adult, it's like, yeah, I would hope the map is right, because then we're screwed otherwise. Have you seen your country lately? I have, and you know what? Valid point. Junpei's the smartest motherfucker I know. Oh no.
Looks like. Then let's use it to plan our next move.
next move.
Yeah, we need to decide where to go from here, don't we?
No, I'm watching a video about the dialogue changes between the versions. They did change it so that the narrate obvious shit since it removed the actual third person narration. That's wild.
He's right. Let's get started.
From the looks of it, there are 4 possible routes.
Also, it'd be really, really funny if this was the only correct section of map and like everything else was wrong. Give you this intense false hope of like, oh yeah, like, oh, this was the kitchen, we made it out here, oh, that's the gate, oh, it was right, so we can trust the map, and then everything else is just flat wrong. Really weird idea. Go ahead.
Let's just keep it simple and call them A, B, C, and D.
Okay, done to done. Yeah.
First, A and B.
Uh-huh.
They both seem to connect to a room that looks L-shaped.
Supposedly.
Yeah, there were 2 doors. But they were both locked. We couldn't open them.
Now, route C. This goes all the way to the main staircase.
That means it's door 5, one of the numbered doors.
Then do you think we would meet up with the other 4 after this hallway?
No, I don't think we will.
Why not?
Why not?
Thank you.
Look, there by the stairs. See how the gate is opened? When we went into the kitchen, it was closed.
Oh, yeah, it was.
But it's open now. What do you think that means?
I think that means Zero's scurrying around and like just hiding in the corners where we just can't quite see them. And as he sees that we're progressing, he's like, oh shit, they're moving forward. Let me just open this gate really quick.
They opened it.
Most likely.
And if we take route C, we're going backwards.
But like not like a mechanism. Like it is actually just Zero, just like skittering around like a little roach. No. I know the gameplay, I know the story. I haven't played these though.
That would be pointless.
Oh, yeah.
Then that means
Route D, then.
You know, their staircase that we said was not going to meet with anybody else if we were to go to the main area that we started with.
D it is.
Yup, Route D.
Okay, are we going to have a fourth confirmation from Junpei?
Then we're set.
Thanks. Cool.
Everything looks okay here.
Let's check the next deck just to be sure.
Yeah, just like I thought. D-Deck is totally underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
Yeah. You know, like D-Deck was completely flooded when we started all of this. Have a rude D for you, Stinky Kitty? No thanks. I'm good, thank you.
At least the water level hasn't really changed.
Small comfort.
You know what, I'll give him that. The water level didn't change. It's been stuck kind of relatively the same level.
May as well head back to C-Deck.
What else is here?
There are 2 elevators over there at the top of the stairs.
They probably don't work.
Just like the floor above.
That's crazy! It's almost like elevators can teleport you through stairs. I forgot, this is meant to be the Titanic sister ship, right? Shh, don't ruin it for the people that don't know. Shh, no, shh. No, this is the Titanic. We transported back to 1912, right before it sank. Right before it hit the iceberg, and now we're in the process of it sinking. Shut up. No, shush, 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 shush.
Hold on. These are kind of different. See? There's a card reader on the side.
Another strange mark.
Oh, what? No, your planet. That's not Venus, is it? Is that Mercury?
Hey, look! It's Lotus's symbol.
What's that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean? There's a conspiracy that it was a sister ship that's saying, oh.
See? It's the woman symbol with horns on it.
Junpei? Junpei. Buddy. Sir. Okay. You know what? We're not getting into that.
That seems like... Oh, ouch, 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 ouch.
Thank you. Because all women are devils? Oh, yep. Certainly. Yes, we are.
What was that about the mark again?
Thank you. Thank you, Lotus.
Nothing.
This is a Mercury symbol.
Oh, it is Mercury. Okay. I knew Venus was the female symbol, but like without the horns.
The horns symbolize the wings on Hermes' staff.
Which, in Roman mythology, not Greek mythology, he was called Mercury.
Hermes, herpes, whatever.
Shut the fuck up.
If we can't get this thing to work, these elevators aren't going anywhere.
In other words, we need a key card with the Mercury symbol on it.
Probably.
I guess we can't get on then. Let's just disregard the elevators for now.
How about this hallway on the left?
Whoa, there's so many doors.
9 doors? Oh, she's an astrology girl. Red flag. She's 0. She's a planetary girly. She's not just astrology. Because she's just been naming the planets. I'm sure she probably knows the zodiac symbols too. But haven't come across those quite yet.
Damn it. If we try and search all these, the sun's gonna go down before we've done half of them.
I thought it's currently nighttime.
I think the sun already set.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this ship is the only thing that's going to be going down anytime soon.
That's even worse.
We're on a sinking ship. What do you think's gonna happen, big man? What do you think's gonna... that we're just gonna stay at the level of current sinkage and not have anything else happen? Hello?
Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check the
Sure.
hallway on the other side, shall we?
Okay.
Time to head back to the stairs.
And now the right hallway.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
That's crazy. It's almost like this is a fucking ship. There's gonna be doors.
Let's open them.
All right, let's start with this one.
That one.
Huh, it isn't locked. I'm going to open it. What?
Oh, this is I was about to say morgue. That's definitely wrong. Hospice. This is like a hospice room. Or like maybe like a quarantine room.
What the hell is this?
If there's like a sickness outbreak, you can quarantine them in here.
This place is huge.
Oh, there are beds
Infirmary. Jesus Christ,
everywhere.
that's the word. I'd get there eventually. Med bay, yeah. Infirmary, med bay. Some medical facility that we can house several many people.
Is this a hospital?
It definitely has the smell.
Oh, sick.
Could be. I see medicine cabinets and surgical tools.
Hey,
Yeah,
look
okay.
there. The 4 doors at the end.
Yeah, the 3, what was it, 3 and 7? She was made into a medical ship in World War I. Oh. The sister ship? Okay, that's cool actually. Oh, 3, 7, and 8.
The left door says 3.
Uh-huh.
The second door is blank, but the third has a 7.
Uh-huh.
And the rightmost door is 8. There's
Uh-huh.
no doubt. They're numbered doors.
No. I couldn't tell, Junpei. Because they have gigantic numbers scrawled across the doors. I had no idea. Thank you for making that so clear to the player.
Why is the second door blank?
Yeah, numbered doors. Why is the second door blank? I don't know. Zero could only pick 9 doors to use, so he hated this one for some reason.
That
I don't
seems
know.
Kinda strange, don't you think?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yes, that sounds like a good plan.
Oh, it's no use.
Yes. Let's see if the numbered doors with very clearly noticeable reds sensors next to them are going to freely open up, not unlike the first 2 doors that we went through that also were numbered and also had reds and sensors next to them. Yes, we can just freely open them like the other ones. Because that makes sense. Hey kids, do you remember the rules of the game?
Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, what would be the point of the Nonary game?
There's finally some fucking logic in here.
We have to activate the red, or the numbered doors won't.
In fact, the DS games had an edition that came with the watches. Oh, you know what? That's actually kind of cool. I hope they explain how the numbered doors and the scanner works. Me too. I really hope they reiterate the rules about how the lever and the numbered doors actually work in the game.
Wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't you remember? The red at the central staircase?
Oh yeah, I had like a vacant or I don't remember what the other term was, but it's either like someone's in and processing in the door or it's not, and it would say I think it's like vacant and engaged at the top, and like this would be like a little bit lit up. and they're currently off.
If no one was inside, it said vacant.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, maybe these weren't lit up. I thought they were.
But this one.
There's nothing on it.
The worst thing is that when they do that shit, they have no glossary. They do! They have files. We have a glossary, technically. Like, we have this shit. Like, it's here. Have I read them? No, because I felt no desire nor need to. Cool, great, thanks. Oh, other versions. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right?
I wonder if it's broken.
Only one way to find out.
It's not responding.
Would you not... Would that not have been, like, prevalent after the first hand? Like, it would beep. Why did you all test it? Yeah, like, why the fuck are these words red if they mean nothing? Why are these
How about the
highlighted?
red on door 7?
Yeah, like, why are these words highlighted in such a specific way? They mean nothing.
And door 3?
None of them are working.
What does it mean?
I knew it. They're broken.
They're probably not broken. They're probably just off.
Zero sure sucks at maintenance.
No, that's impossible. You really think Zero, who prepared all of this, would make such a stupid, simple mistake?
Right? Like, Zero is like big brain serial killer with this elaborate trap of trapping for this is obviously the name of the game, 9 people on a ship. You'd think that they would go full tech and make sure like everything's working, or they have just flip the switch. It's a British ship. We have switches on the outlets. What? That's weird. Fascinating, but weird. Yeah, like Zero would make sure that things work in such a specific way. Like they could probably turn these on and off as needed. So right now they're monitoring us somehow, some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's the bracelets, who knows? To say like, oh, everyone's here in the room. Now these can activate because we have the appropriate amount of people.
Maybe, but that doesn't explain why this thing ain't working.
I literally just explained it. I gave an explanation. It's next to impossible to get an electric shock by accident in the UK. Oh. Alright. Well, like, unless like, you're being purposefully stupid.
I believe the bottom of the device has been removed.
Hey, buddy. Where the fuck did you come from?
Snake!
Snake? Snake!
Ace! Clover! 7!
How did you guys... How did you end up here?
There's like 4 steps you need to take to stick a fork in an outlet and shock yourself. Oh no.
That's my line.
That's too many steps.
Perhaps we should exchange information.
Half an hour later.
There you have it. Our half of the story.
Got it.
Okay, let me see if I got all this straight.
You
When
don't.
you guys got here, the bases for the Reds were already gone.
Wait, huh? There's shit in the...
And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything.
So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors.
that we didn't go check because there's too many fucking doors.
So you went and had a look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while you were looking around, you heard voices.
Uh-huh.
Was it our voices? Because we did visit that hallway and we were talking.
So you followed the voices and came back here.
It was probably our voices.
Indeed.
and that was how we found you.
Fascinating.
Why don't we check those 3 reds again, just in case?
You're right. Huh. There's a long, thin gap on the bottom. I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
Well, this isn't good.
I get like a better view of it without like the text box being in the way.
If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
Well, what about that hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go?
No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
I don't know. Why don't we pull out the map that we conveniently found and so far has been right? To see if there's anywhere else we might be able to possibly go to.
Hospital rooms. That's what's behind all those doors?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
Realistically, might be the morgue.
There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however.
Maybe, maybe not.
I was able to get a good feel of it. I believe it was the symbol of Jupiter.
You can't see it because the my chat box, but it's the bracket symbol of Jupiter bracket.
Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere.
I wonder what they all mean.
You wonder what they all mean when they've all been notable rooms or notable ways to get through the ship. I'm gonna lose brain cells.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room?
Oh boy, buddy. Have you heard of a hospital?
I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
Fun fact for anyone that has never been on a cruise ship or just doesn't know this, cruise ships have a morgue that are on board as well as a hospital in case perhaps there is an outbreak of infection or a virus while you're traveling the world to other lands. Because we're humans and that can still happen. Fascinating. The switch, all of our plugs are grounded with a third pin, and that pin pushes up doors that stop anything from getting in the live and neutral. We have what y'all call GFCI built into the breaker that protects every outlet, the breaker itself, and the 240 volt, so less amps, and cause it's 99% old flux. Alright, makes sense.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship.
Or that, you know, sure.
Chances are it's the Gigantic.
Yeah, it's a huge ship. What about it?
The Gigantic?
What is this gigantic?
It means very big.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century.
Oh, wow. The little bit of plot twist from earlier that Kyler fucking spoiled. For anyone that wasn't aware of these games. Kyler.
Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships, and they looked exactly the same. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that?
It's like saying Earth dies at this point, man. Hush.
One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gourdain bought her. Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself.
Yeah, unless you're like a rich, eclectic billionaire. I don't think you're getting that, dude.
Which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, so unless you have like a super hella expensive, powerful rig to fish out from the bottom of the ocean, or had enough money to replicate and build the entire thing, not happening.
But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gordain bought this ship?
Could have been worse. Could have talked about Zero.
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
I mean, you could. Isn't... Okay. I don't remember if this actually gets brought up. I think the other sister ship is called the Olympic. I could be wrong on that.
Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Did we miss a line? Oh, nope. Okay, that was it.
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship.
Wow, really compelling argument there.
So, I just figured.
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Yeah.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Alright.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Memory isn't back?
Eh.
Yeah.
Alright. You have to remember, I met all of you after you had met all of each other first. I wasn't there for that conversation that Seven apparently has memory loss.
Your point being?
Wait, was I the only one that didn't know?
It was. And the Britannic. Okay, thank you.
Why?
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, huh?
Classic short-term memory loss.
I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up.
What?
That sucks.
Huh. A bell.
Didn't use Olympic given how litigious the Olympic Games are. Possibly. No idea.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Is it... What are we at now? 10? 10 o'clock?
10, 11,
Oh.
12.
Oh, we're at midnight.
12.
It's midnight. Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
Fuck, we spent 3 hours dicking around.
We don't have any time to screw around. Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room. That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Up your butt.
Well, not just one.
What? That is not what you said. Not just one. That is not at all what you said. I got a Super Bowl. No legal legs to stand on suing over it, but not worth the headache of getting sued. Yeah, that's fair.
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Yeah, pick a room. Start going.
Don't freak out. We've already searched 4 of them.
Oh, well, okay.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
Someone's going a little off script here.
There are 48 other rooms?
Maybe?
Maybe? I know I can't fucking read, but dude, your voice actor is way going off script.
Alright, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
No.
Yeah.
Yes!
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again.
So we're gonna take an hour to search a set of rooms.
How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah, sounds straightforward enough.
I'll shout if I find any of the components we need.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Right.
Then let's do this.
Then everyone ran off to their respective rooms.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
3 hours of shenanigans, tomfoolery, nonsense, hijinks, buffoonery, malarkey, baloney, and poppycock. Don't forget about pussyfooting around. Exactly, thank you. Glad to help.
Huh? What are they doing over there?
They're conspiring against you because you're fucking stupid, Junpei.
What happened, guys?
Jumpy, look!
Vacant.
Isn't that crazy? That doesn't look different than it did before, besides the vacant.
Come on, guys. Who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it.
Well,
What the hell? What is up with you guys?
What do you mean, well? Oh, hi. Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
You don't know.
When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red.
What? Let me see.
Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot that had been open on the bottom was now covered with metal.
You're right. It's in there. What about the other 2?
They're the same.
Let me take a look.
Junpei quickly examined the other 2 boxes.
It's just as you said.
Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others.
Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right?
Correct.
none.
Ace and June nodded silently. Seven raised his hands as if to say, "Not me," and Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing.
Huh. Wait a minute.
That was when he noticed. Where's Snake? Where's Snake? Junpei swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen. Where is Snake?
He found them?
I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest he didn't either.
I don't suppose we'll know until we can ask him in person.
Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
I mean, he is blind, and from what I could tell, he doesn't have a cane. And he did stick to Clover a lot, because they're siblings, and that makes sense. But he's also blind, and has kind of a little bit of an issue walking around an unfamiliar place, I would assume. So he, you know, could reasonably be lost.
Maybe he's lost.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place.
He relies on Clover. Clover raised her head.
No! That's impossible!
Suddenly she was shouting.
Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing! He can get around as well as anyone who can see!
Does he have hypersensitive hearing? Does he have like echolocation? Is that a thing that your brother has? Because I'm not doubting it, but it's a little hard for someone that is blind or visually impaired to just freely navigate an area that they've never been to before with no help. That's what they're implying. Okay, cool. Which is sick. That's awesome. If you are visually impaired or blind and you have echolocation, dope.
So he couldn't get lost! That's impossible!
It's real. Okay. No, like I have heard of that to like some degree. Like not every blind person has that, but like some do. And it's really helpful for them where they don't need the like the sight cane. It makes it, at least for those people, makes it a little easier to traverse around because you can just like quote unquote see just by hearing, which is really interesting. Clover had started to shake and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna go look for him!
The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run.
Hey, hold on, Clover. Wait!
Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone.
Well, that didn't work.
It's not like bats or daredevil levels, but they can tell distances and shit. Yeah, like I know it's not like superhuman where like they have like a projection image where like, you know, like their occipital lobe and they can like imagine it clear as day. But like they have some perception and it's really interesting.
Damn it. What should we do now?
Well, the red is working now.
No! We're not leaving two people behind! We should go look for them!
Oh man, this ain't good.
Oh, yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots.
Also, we don't really know what we were looking for, so how would we know if we had found it in the first place?
Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left.
Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. In front of the stairs that led to B deck, they decided to split up.
Split up.
Thanks.
All right, I'll take this direction.
Then I shall look that way.
I'll be over here.
See you all later.
Soon only two of them were left. Those two were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others. A very few blind people are completely blind. Yeah, they, I have seen it where like they have like some light perception, like they just kind of see like light and dark, or like blur of color, or you know, like any varying degree, right? So not every blind person is fully 100% blind. A lot of legally blind people just have really strong glasses prescriptions, where if they had taken their glasses off, they just kind of see shapes, and it's very unsafe.
All right, we should go too.
Yes, let's go! But where should we start?
Literally anywhere. Just go. The casino, the first class cabin, the hallway with all the rooms, back to the large hospital room. 2020 here? Ooh, I don't know. My, like, something over 20 or 20 over something perception number. It's not 2020. I do wear glasses, but they're not very strong. Like, I can see without them. Let's try the first class cabin.
Oh, what about the first class cabin on B deck?
Okay, let's go, Jumpy.
They took off out the stairs at a run. Outside the first class cabin, they found Clover. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point on the wall, her eyes blank. Already half dead and not bald or blind, so it's unlikely it will ever happen. At least I won't. What? At least I won a couple lotteries? Interesting. Was it like at $20? What should Junpei do?
Are you alright?
He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond.
Look, I know you're really worried, but
He could think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Junpei hesitated. Clover was so consumed by worry and fear that Junpei feared it could crush her. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who she seemed to have been very close to.
Alone.
Her voice was thin and barely audible.
Alone.
Alone?
I said leave me alone!
She was suddenly screaming.
You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off! Go away, okay? Just go somewhere else. Stop bothering me.
Junpei was taken aback. Such anger and hate. June's eyes had gone wide with surprise as well.
Why are you still here? Did you hear me? Huh? Fine, forget it. If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just...
All right, let's go, June.
Yeah.
Fuck you? We're trying to help you find your brother. Jesus Christ. They turned and left Clover. As they did, Junpei glanced back over his shoulder to see Clover wiping tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed will get him nowhere but depressed.
We really need to find Snake, for Clover's sake.
He did his best to push away the misery and the depression and force a smile.
So, where do you think we should go next?
Let's go to the casino, since we're already up here.
Let's go take a look.
They turned and headed off down the hallway to their right at a jog. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
She glanced up at him, unimpressed.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake.
I'm just not seeing it.
Really? Maybe you need to look harder.
I don't think that's the problem.
Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it?
What kind of proposal?
What is it?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up?
As interesting of an idea that could be, we don't know what numbers lie ahead, so we can't guarantee that we'll always be together.
Team up?
Yeah. What? You need me to explain it to you? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door?
Even if we wanted to, that's impossible.
Why?
Jumpy's bracelet number is 5, mine is 6, and yours is 8.
5, 11, 19. It'd make 0. No, it wouldn't. Yeah. 1 and 9 is 10. It'd make 1, sorry.
Our digital root would be 1.
Thank you for showing the math for those at home that can't do math. Thank you. Plus that.
But there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room. The only doors there are 3, 7, and 8.
Then we add another person.
Huh?
Who?
What? Isn't that easy?
If we find Snake, we can go through 3.
7.
7 will also work.
Oh, if we add 7...
Go through door 8.
5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 equals 26. The digital root of 26, 2 plus 6 equals 8.
And the 4 of them could go through the number 8 door.
Wait a
But
minute. What about the other 4? Ace, Snake, Santa, and Clover.
Well, why don't you add them up?
that was simple
1 plus
enough.
2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. And 1 plus 0 equals 1. The digital root for those 4 would be 1.
That's right.
And you know the number 1 door isn't in the big hospital room, right?
Uh-huh.
Of course I know that.
No! Are you saying you'd leave them behind?
Didn't need the calculator? Good job, thanks. Now you need to learn how to spell because that's not how you spell my name.
Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, couldn't we?
I don't know, could we? We don't know if we just get locked out if we leave the ship.
Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind.
Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you do anything of the sort.
Really? Why do you think that?
You remember, don't you? We have less than 5 hours left. Even if we manage to escape, there's no way we could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours.
Well, you never know until you try.
I'm remoting to my PC on my phone, okay? Yeah,
No,
alright.
You're not thinking this through.
Fine.
Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship. The 4 of us couldn't open door 9.
That's true.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Yeah.
We would need the help of
Yeah,
other
that's
people.
right.
Laying in bed.
The digital route for the 4 of us would be 8, so we'd have to add Ace to make 9.
That's right. Unless we bring Ace too, we'll be stuck.
Let's scratch the back of your ear.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of the game, is to actually cooperate and work as a team so that we can all escape, or most of us can escape.
Unfortunate. That's all you have to say?
She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said. Nor did she seem particularly surprised.
Well, let's try and find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us.
That's impossible. Are you being serious? And you do know that only 5 people, at most, can go through one of the numbered doors.
We just gotta save your waifu. I don't have a waifu in here. Or a husbando. I don't have anyone that I like in here.
The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind.
Huh.
I actually dislike most of the characters to some degree.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
After your history together, At the moment he said it, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine.
Wait just a second.
Right.
You're skipping over a really big detail.
Yes, what she said was true, but how Lotus could remain cavalier about so terrifying a prospect was beyond him.
Is that really okay? That means 3 people will die in the end. Are you okay with that? That's just...
Lotus's forehead
I
furrowed.
think I could have a moment alone. There are some things I need to think about.
Sure. Junpei and June turned and began walking away from Lotus.
It didn't turn out to be a very pleasant conversation.
Yeah.
Junpei's heart felt heavy and his step sluggish. But he told himself pessimism would get them nowhere.
Well, regardless,
So he forced himself to smile and turned to June.
let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay?
Yes, you're right. We can think about those other things later.
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
All right. Where should we go next?
We already went there, and Clover yelled at us.
Let's go back downstairs and check out that hallway with all the doors.
Together they ran downstairs.
Oh, it's Ace.
Ahead of them, farther down the hallway, they spotted
Hey,
Ace.
Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there!
What should Junpei do? Run to
Let's
Ace.
go.
With June in tow, Junpei jogged up to Ace. Hearing their footsteps, he turned to greet them.
Ah, hello there. Snake is... well, that's obvious, isn't it? I assume you haven't found him yet?
Nope.
Doesn't seem like you're having any luck either.
I really wonder where he could have gone.
Well, wherever he's disappeared to, we must find him as quickly as we can. For Clover's sake.
Right.
Yeah, we're trying. June's face looked kinda enraptured?
By the way, do you think Clover and Snake are really siblings?
Ma'am?
Why would you say that?
Siblings can look different. One of them could be adopted. Who fucking cares? Why would you say that? The question seemed somehow odd to Junpei.
Why? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? They don't look alike at all.
Yeah, that can happen. Also, one of them could be adopted. That still makes you siblings. On paper. Ace looked at him for a moment and then spoke.
Yes, you know, now that you mention it, they don't.
Now that you mention it.
Still, there are a great many siblings who do not look like one another. It certainly isn't rare.
I'm denying that comment. Junpei wasn't sure why, or even if he was seeing what he thought he was, but he could have sworn that Ace's face tightened as he spoke. Not like they're blood related or anything. Baka.
At any rate,
Ew.
we really must find Snake as soon as possible. The clock is ticking. We really can't afford to waste any time. Very well. Let's get back to the search, shall we? You can leave this area to me.
All right. Let's go, Jumpy.
At June's urging, they left. They found themselves back at the stairs, but Junpei's mind was in turmoil.
Something about that was... I'll think on it later. Like Ace said, finding Snake is our top priority.
Junpei did his best to clear his mind.
Alright, where should we go next?
Back to the hospital
Why don't
room.
we go back to the big hospital room?
We've been everywhere else.
Okay, let's go then.
They turned and headed back towards the large hospital room.
Hey, wait, that's...
On their way to the large hospital room, Junpei and June noticed Santa standing next to the number 3 door.
Santa?
Junpei paused. What should Junpei do? Hi. Junpei and June walked up to Santa.
What are you doing?
What? You can't tell? I'm checking out the red.
Why? Is there something bothering you?
What? It's not bothering you?
Huh?
The guts of this red. Why wouldn't you wonder who the hell put it back in here?
I mean, that is a fair concern. Not really the concern at hand. That's, you know, a little bit higher priority, but a concern nonetheless.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm curious too, but...
Who do you think did it?
0. Zero. Santa's eyes narrowed as he looked at June. She shook her head.
I don't know.
Well, what about you, Junpei? Who do you think fixed this thing for us?
Snake, Lotus, 0, someone other than the 8 of them. Would that not... no, okay. As I say, would this just not be the same answer as this? But, we actually don't know if there are other people here and or working with 0, or we don't know if there are multiple zeros. We don't know if 0 is just like a dude. It could be several dudes. So, my guess is 0. For all intents and purposes.
I think it was probably 0.
Why?
Isn't that obvious? He's the guy who set this whole thing up.
You don't think that should mean the opposite? Seems to me like that means he didn't do it.
I mean, we were all distracted for an hour, and if 0 is somehow tracking us and watching us in some relation, that would give him plenty of time to sneak out from somewhere, put the things in, and leave. Realistically.
I mean, who do you think took that stuff out in the first place?
Also 0?
Probably 0.
Yeah, exactly. Then why the hell would he put him back in after he'd taken them out himself?
Because he wanted you all in the same place first. So that you could all figure out how to go through the doors. 0, for whatever reason, really wants us to work as a team. It's weird, but it's prevalent. And apparently you haven't been listening to the rules that they reiterated 7 times.
It just doesn't make sense. Why do all that work?
Because psychopaths don't make sense.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Teamwork. Lunacy. Had any endings yet? No.
So, what happened then? Who put that stuff back in the Reds?
We're still on run number 1. We haven't gotten to an ending yet. Junpei furrowed his brow.
In other words, one of us is the person who fixed the red.
Santa grinned.
Bingo! We have a winner.
You know what? I'm blaming June. June did it. She had all the devices. She has a pocket on her dress somewhere, whatever this is. She just like, as we were all gone, she turned back during the room search. She shoved them in there.
But if that's true, then the person who did it doesn't want the rest of us to know that they fixed it.
Yeah.
But why?
No idea. Maybe if they come clean on that, it means we'd find out something else. Something bad.
Hey, it could be anyone at this point. Like, it could have been you, and you're just being a dickhead about it. It could have been Snake, who's now missing. She has 2 prison wallets? Ew. Shut up. Could have been you. Could have been you. Could have been anyone else. It could have been Seven. Could have been Lotus. Could have been Ace. Could have been Clover. Could have been Snake. Could have been anyone in the party besides us, because obviously we know that we didn't do it because we're the main character and we would have insider means of that.
Something bad?
Dunno. But whatever it is, it's gotta be worth hiding. Of course, it could have something to do with Snake's disappearance.
You think maybe they did something to Snake?
Yeah.
Junpei stared at Santa. There was something about him that made Junpei wary. At first he'd assumed the other man wasn't terribly clever, but Junpei was beginning to think that he would need to reevaluate that assessment. When Santa spoke again, his voice was quiet.
Look, if you trust anybody in this game, you're gonna lose. You've gotta be careful. The person you trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back.
Damn, that's crazy. With that depressing suggestion, he turned and quietly walked away.
And that's that, I guess.
Why are you giggling? Junpei and June looked at one another and smiled awkwardly. Where would they go next? We have been literally everywhere. We're done. We're done. We've been to the casino. We talked with Lotus. We've been upstairs to the first club and got yelled at by Clover. We checked the hallway and Ace got it covered. We didn't see Seven. We didn't, no, we came in here, we found Santa. We're looking for Snake. Yeah, that's everyone. Looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found.
Snake hasn't been anywhere we've searched.
Lotus looked around at the 6 frustrated faces and spoke.
We can't keep looking for him. Wherever he is, it's not here.
6.
We need to get moving.
Junpei couldn't disagree with that, with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. Did you look under all the beds? Oh, true. We didn't look under all the beds. He could just be playing a little game of hide and seek. There was no point to wasting any more time. The others seemed to be having similar thoughts, but they stayed silent. Finally, Seven spoke.
We don't got a choice. Lotus is right. We're not gonna find Snake. There's a problem, though. We've gotta figure out who's gonna go through which door.
Yes, I have a proposal.
She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
Sacrifice?
Sacrifice. Sacrifice.
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes. You've all figured it out by now, haven't you? We can't all make it through those doors. If we
Not
split
that
into 2
attitude.
teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, then 3 people will be left behind. If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people respectively, then 2 people will be left behind. But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave 1 person out, then only 1 person will be left behind.
Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 4 and 3. Yeah? It wasn't pleasant, but she was right. There wasn't any way that the numbers worked out. If one group was 4, the other group was always going to be a digital route that didn't match a door. Let Lotus die? When Seven spoke, well, we'll see what the options are, alright? His voice was strained.
Then you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Because we did the math when we talked to Lotus. So if we had a group of 4 with, as the example was, Lotus, Seven, June, and myself, if we left the other 4 people, it was the route of 1. We don't have a route of 1 door. So someone's going to have to stay behind to be able to fit through the other doors.
Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution. If the other 6 are to survive, then 1 person has to sacrifice themselves.
No, that's too cruel.
If we had everybody, we could probably go through all the doors.
What's so cruel about it?
To just sacrifice someone like that?
Okay, we're not like sacrificing, because as we've seen, we meet everyone later and we can definitely go back to the other places. So it's not like we can't come back and grab the other person just in a different route. Probably.
Then what's your plan? Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1.
That's not what I meant! We shouldn't sacrifice anyone!
I told you, that's impossible. Wake up.
Yeah, because we need a minimum of 3 people. We have 8 people, including ourselves. That doesn't divide out very well. So 4 and 3 is the most reasonable. Or 3 and 3 would be the second, but then we're leaving 2 people.
Whoa, whoa, calm down, you two.
Again, with the choice grammar there. Santa said between Lotus and June.
What Lotus is trying to say is, you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
Exactly. That's how democracy works.
Oh, the timing of me playing this game.
And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote. What do you think?
No! That's terrible!
June, I'm not gonna say this often. Shut up. Because it won't work. It logically, logistically, it won't work if we try to bring everyone. It's either 4 people go through a door and 4 people don't, or 4 people go through a door, 3 people go through a different door, and 1 person chills for a little while. Like, it'll be fine, probably.
I'm not asking you. Shut up. What about you, Santa?
Me? Well, I agree, I guess.
All right, that's 1 vote for. Counting mine, that's 2. 7.
I can't say I agree with you, but we don't exactly have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all gonna die.
Oh, glad to see you get it. If I can get 1 more vote, then it's decided.
If you don't go through a door, you die.
What about you, Clover?
Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting on one of the beds. Her whole body drooped. Junpei didn't know she'd even heard Lotus's proposal.
Hey, Clover.
Lotus walked over to Clover and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
Your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors. We've searched everywhere, but we didn't find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
Clover slowly lifted her face.
Let's go look for him together, okay? If we sacrifice 1 person, then we can go look for him. You agree with me?
That's very manipulative of you, especially when Clover is in such a weak and vulnerable state right now.
Right?
Okay.
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
You're a bitch. What the fuck? Lotus spun around and walked towards Junpei.
Now, let's start a vote too.
That won't be necessary.
Ace had barely spoken for Lotus's entire speech, and everyone jumped a little. 6 pairs of eyes turned to look at him. He didn't seem to notice or even care.
I will stay. That should solve our problem, yes?
Depends. How do you work out the math?
Ace, what are you saying? No, you can't do that. That won't solve anything.
Shut up. Do the math. June's voice shook, and she looked around desperately for someone to agree with her. Ace simply looked at her.
June, I'm afraid you may have misunderstood me. I said I would stay, but I never said I would sacrifice myself.
Huh?
I trust you. Each and every one of you. I believe you'll come back for me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's optimistic, and then there's just nuts. Those doors only go one way. You go in, you don't come out. If we go through them.
You won't be able to return, correct?
Yeah.
True, but that will not be the case once you've escaped from the ship.
What?
Please, I beg you. Once you've escaped, come back and rescue me. Ideally, within the time limit Zero has given us.
No, that's ridiculous. There's no way we could get back in time.
Finally, Junpei could hold his tongue no
We've
longer.
only got 5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you?
Then, Perhaps you would prefer to stay instead of me? Or perhaps you would be willing to leave June behind?
Ace's voice was dignified, and without a hint of cruelty or malice. Junpei had no rebuttal.
You see, there's no other choice. Then I see we've come to our conclusion. Go on. Don't worry yourselves about me. Go, quickly.
Junpei stood frozen by indecision, unable to move. June bit her lip so hard that Junpei feared she would break the skin. Santa stood against a wall, calm and aloof. Seven tore his beanie from his head and turned it over anxiously in his hands. Only Clover stared at Ace, with an expression Junpei was unable to decipher. Notice's attitude, however, was different from the others.
Good. Let's accept his kind offer then.
She smiled, her eyes bright. Ace answered with a smile of his own.
Good. I think this is the best for me. Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. It may be my age, but I get tired so easily these days.
As he spoke, Ace lowered himself down to the floor next to one of the beds. Why not on the bed? There's like tens of them. There's dozens of beds. Why not on a bed? From somewhere deep in the ship, Junpei suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. It was almost as if the ship were screaming. Would it really hold until their time limit was up? Already, D-Deck was flooded. In the sudden silence, the only sound was the sad metal wail of the ship. Unsurprisingly, it was Lotus who spoke first.
Well, what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up?
As if a spell had been broken, the others all began to talk at once.
You're right. We should get going. That's all we can do right now.
7.
Seriously. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of listening to you guys talk.
You too, Santa? I have to find my brother. Wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about this. There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be.
There would be if we had Snake, but he's currently missing. So there isn't, because then we would have had 8. No. Yeah, we would have had the 8 people. So we still would have had a problem.
Right, Jumpy?
So we only have 1 through 9. Well, we have 1 through 8, actually.
Say something.
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way.
Or maybe number 9. Well, that was, what's his name? That was being a asshole at the start. Yeah. His words sounded hollow and fake.
Fine. Forget about it. I'll figure it out on my own.
Do the math. You'll figure it out. She spun around and ran towards Ace. He slumped. Why does he look like that? He slumped down next to the bed. Next to the bed. Why aren't you on the bed, dude? When June grabbed his arm and pulled.
Ace! Come on, Ace. Please stand up. You can't give up yet.
I think that's the one constant of the story. Technically.
We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here.
Then it happened. Well, he passed the fuck out. Ace fell forward. He slumped over into the wooden floor, his body folded in half like a boxer out cold.
Ace!
June cried out and dropped to her knees beside him. She pulled her arm around his neck and did her best to lift him up.
What happened? Ace, say something!
She shook him frantically. His eyes fluttered open.
I'm all right.
His voice was weak and slightly slurred.
How are you all right?
This.
He held out his left arm and slowly opened his hand.
A syringe?
Soparil? Oh, buddy. Okay. There's a syringe and a small vial. The vial was empty. It had only recently been emptied. A few drops clung to its sides. There was a label taped to the side of the container. It read Soparil Beta. Soparil Beta.
Soparil Beta. What does this do?
It makes you go sleepy sleepy.
Did you use this?
No. Definitely not. Didn't just have it in my hand just for shits and giggles.
Yes. It's just anesthetic. I'll be fine.
Makes you go night-night.
Anesthetic.
Just for a little bit, though.
I found it earlier, while we were searching the hospital rooms. I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think I'd be using it on myself.
Why did you do this?
Didn't I tell you? I'd like to take a nap.
He wants to take a nap forever.
I really am very tired.
That's crazy, though. If someone were to, like, take this on a regular basis to help them pass the fuck out, like, this is melatonin to the extreme. Junpei knew that wasn't why he'd done it. Ace had injected himself with the anesthetic to forestall Junpei and Jun's attempts to bring him along. He couldn't move. There's nothing they could do. He'd injected himself so that he would be forced to leave them behind.
Ace.
Hmm? Is there something you want to say? I just like to sleep a little. Could you keep it down?
No, don't, Ace. Don't fall asleep.
Okay, he didn't inject himself with, like, a lethal dose. Alright, he just took enough to, like, be knocked out for a little while.
You feel warm. So comfortable.
Alright, that's a little weird. She's a high schooler. Or well, I guess she's college age. You're an adult, older man. This is a little weird.
I think I'll have a nice dream.
Ew. Ace's eyelids drooped further and further, almost as though he were dying.
Ace! Ace!
She shook his shoulder again and again. This time he didn't respond. Only the gentle rising and falling of his chest told them that he was alive. Junpei was relieved to see that he was, in fact, still breathing.
Let's get him up on a bed.
He lifted Ace up off the floor and laid him on the bed that he'd been leaning against. When Junpei turned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity.
Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let his sacrifice go to waste, right?
Like you even mean that.
You say something?
No, nothing.
It felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly Santa spoke.
Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door.
Ah, yes. Yes, that's true.
Enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want?
I want door number 8. It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Okay, then you need people that add up to 9.
Got it. You're 8. You're next 7. Which one do you want?
I'll take 7. I can't get along with that old lady.
What? What did you just say?
Her face distorted by rage, Lotus took a step towards 7. He threw up his hands and made a face like a child caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Who, me? I didn't say nothing.
Oh, you're gonna get it next time.
She shot him a glare that would have melted steel, then turned and stalked off.
Alright, who's next?
Santa's gaze moved across the 3 people left. Finally, they stopped on Junpei.
Junpei, which door do you want?
At last, Junpei's mind was already made up. Door 3, door 7, door 8. What door do we want to go through, guys? Because it doesn't quite matter. For the moment, we can... We'll come back and do the other ones at some point. So, which one do we want? Door number 1, door number 2, or door number 8? Three. Okay. So we don't want to go with Lotus. We don't want to go with 7. 8. Okay, we gotta vote for 3 and we gotta vote for 8. I'll flip a coin. So I don't want to be here. So we'll do heads for 3, tails for 8. actually. Because this coin actually sucks. We're gonna do evens and odds. So, odd number, we'll get 3. Even number, we'll get 8. It landed on 17. So we're gonna go with 3.
I want to go through door number 3.
Nope, you can't.
Huh? Why?
Because it's impossible. If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3.
Why?
The bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 2 combinations that can go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8. That's it.
Awesome.
Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door.
I see. That means one team would get left behind.
That's right.
That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8?
No, they're fine. We've got 3 options.
Santa began to explain.
Option A, have 3, 5, and 8 go through door 7, and 4, 6, 7 go through door 8. Option B, 4, 5, and 7 go through 7, and 3, 6, and 8 go through 8. Option C, 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8.
Cool. So, option A striked out because Lotus picked 8 and 7 picked 7. So that's gone. Option B, 4, 5, and 7 go through 7. 3, 6, and 8 go through 8. Or 3, 6, and 7 go through 7. And 4, 5, and 8 go through 8. So, question being, A, we can't be with June. Boo-hoo. Oh no. So sad. Either way, we're going with Clover regardless. Do we want to go with 7 or do we want to go with Lotus?
Those are the only 3 options. That's it.
7? We want to go with 7?
At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here.
Wait.
That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams. 3, 5, 8, 4, 6, 7. Plan B divides into 2 teams. 4, 5, 7, and 3, 6, 8. Plan C divides into 2 teams. 3, 6, 7, and 4, 5, 8.
But that means
There's one thing they all had in common.
5 and 6 can never be on the same team.
Not for this instance, and that's okay. It's okay to be away from someone for a little while. You know what that's called? It's called healthy boundaries. Healthy self-boundaries. It's okay. Because we're probably going to run into them again.
If we want all 6 of us to go through a door, then June and I can't go into the same one.
Sorry, I forgot. June and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do?
Have you mulled it over enough, or do you need more time?
Good old codependency.
Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die. So what are you
Fuck
gonna
it.
do? 7 or 8? Time to choose.
Junpei thought hard. After thinking it over, his conclusion was... Alright. Pick again. We're not doing 3. At least not this run. You any good at Sudoku? Actually, yes. Yes, I am. 3? We're not going through 3. Pick 7 or 8. 8? Okay, we're picking 8.
Okay. Fine. Alright. I choose door 8.
Okay, 8 it is.
Yeah.
Alright then, that means June's gotta go through 7.
Huh? Why?
We just talked about the math, June. Were you not paying attention? Santa muttered to himself and turned to Junpei.
Junpei, you figured it out, right? Can you explain it to her?
You didn't figure it out? You're the one that was explaining it to me.
Okay, so, June, if we want all 6 of us to go through a door...
Junpei chose his words carefully. When Junpei finally finished, June looked as though she was about to cry.
Oh no. You're saying we aren't gonna see each other again for a long time.
Yeah, and then we're gonna reunite, so it's fine. Junpei felt just as June did. He wanted to be at her side. Through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, steeled his resolve, and did his best to smile.
Hey, come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again. We gotta split up, but only for a while. This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too, but we all met back up. I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
It's a ship. There aren't really a lot of dead ends in a ship. Because you can always turn back around. There's always a different way out. She didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
We have a map. We know where these things can go to. Why aren't we using it?
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9. In other words, the game would end right here.
That's true also.
Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now. I'm damn sure that son of a bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door.
June said nothing. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them, and with what reassurance he could manage, laid his hand gently on her shoulder.
Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise.
June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod.
Yes. Promise?
Her voice was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice shattered the moment.
You guys are done, right?
Man, he stretched and continued.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 7 and Clover can take 8.
You did the math. You two had to be paired, and me and Clover had to be paired, because we need a 9 for either set of doors.
Any problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and was silent for a moment.
Whatever.
It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
All right, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Santa, 7, and June walked towards door 7, while Clover, Lotus, and Junpei headed to door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. Then Lotus laid her hand against her chest and turned to Junpei and Clover.
Are you ready?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then shall we go?
No.
It's
Alright.
open.
Narrow hallway stretched out before them.
Okay.
Hurry!
Lotus and Clover leapt through the door. The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonators in the bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his left, towards door 7. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. She turned and looked towards him. Their eyes met.
June.
Jumpy.
They nodded. Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds.
What the hell are you doing?
Then someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hauled him bodily through the door. Dude just got fucking yoinked. He heard the sound of the numbered door slam shut behind him. His bracelet gave a cold electronic beep.
81 seconds left. Hurry!
Lotus snapped at him and ran to the dead. Junpei and Clover followed her as fast as they could.
It stopped.
With a shaking hand, she wiped a few beads of sweat from her forehead. Clover, however, was calm, aloof, perhaps.
Pointless.
She muttered to herself, without emotion, and began to walk down the hallway, leaving behind a confused Junpei and Lotus. Lotus watched the girls receding back with a mix of frustration and curiosity.
What an unpleasant girl. I bet she's not very popular with the boys.
You manipulated her into coming into the door. Her sarcasm seemed to be a little more biting than was perhaps necessary, but she sighed and started after the younger girl.
Maybe pairing these two together was a mistake. Too late now. I better catch up to them.
After taking a moment to catch his breath, Junpei followed.
Oh, it's a dead end.
The hallway made a number of turns before at last coming to a dead end.
There's a door on the left, though.
For a few minutes, they stood in front of the door, examining it. Above the door was a plate with the word laboratory engraved on it.
A laboratory? Huh.
Oh, that doesn't sound very pleasant. I don't like the look of this place.
Me either. But there aren't any other doors. It's not like we have a lot of choices.
Junpei,
Huh?
please, you first.
Junpei suspected her politeness was motivated by something other than respect.
Ugh, fine.
Yeah, well, if there's a bomb on the other side of the door and we just explode. Junpei muttered to himself and pushed open the iron door. Seems bomb-free. His first steps inside were tentative and careful, but as he examined the room, it became clear that there was no imminent danger. Lotus followed him in, and Clover brought up the rear. The room they found themselves in was divided into two separate areas by a curved wall. A thick glass window built into that wall made it possible to see into the other side of the division.
No, I think the window looks into another room.
Maybe it's for monitoring something.
Junpei walked to the window and looked through.
What the hell?
He wasn't sure what else to say. Oh. Huh, okay. In the center of a room shaped like a quarter circle, a mannequin lay on what looked like a medical exam table.
It looks so creepy.
Junpei jumped a little. He hadn't noticed Lotus came up next to him.
It's kind of like that doll is waiting for surgery.
This is a laboratory, right? I'd say it's more like it's waiting to be experimented on.
Ooh,
It's creepy either way. Don't think that thing's gonna suddenly sit up or something, do you?
Be really funny if it did.
well, I don't know.
Hi, Connor. Welcome in.
I mean, look at all those cables sticking out of it. If we press the wrong button, I don't know.
Stop it. Just thinking about it is terrifying.
She was gripping her arms. The knuckles on her hands were white.
Wait, where's Clover?
She was still standing near the entrance of the room. Her face had the appearance of calm, but it was drawn and somehow sad.
What is she?
There was something almost pitiful about her. Junpei walked over to her and, as kindly as he could, spoke.
Are you okay?
Clover looked away.
What are you talking about?
What? I'm just worried about you. You've been real quiet.
What? I can't be quiet if I want to?
Well, I mean, of course you can. I just...
Okay then. If I can be quiet if I want, just leave me alone, okay?
Come on, you know I can't do that. We gotta work together.
Clover bit her lip and was silent for a
Junpei,
moment.
you just don't get it!
Then suddenly, her cry took Junpei by surprise, and he stumbled backward a few steps, alarmed.
My brother's not the kind of person who'd just leave me behind.
At no point did anyone say any sort of notion to that. It's just not. It didn't happen. No one said that. You're getting in your own head.
Something happened to him. Something bad.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Junpei had nothing to say. Lotus, jolted from her mannequin nightmares by Clover's voice, turned towards them.
What happened?
Clover's eyes slid to Lotus, then back to Junpei.
Look, just don't bother me, okay? Leave me alone.
Kinda can't, but sure, we can try. Finished, she turned around. Before Junpei or Lotus could say anything, Clover had begun to walk quickly away.
Hey, wait, Clover! Hold on! That way is...
I told you to leave me alone.
He might as well have been talking to a wall for all the notice she took. What? For all the notice she took of his cries. Not even slowing down, she made for a doorway cut in the wall in front of her. Without even slowing down, she passed through the doorway.
Clover, watch out above you!
And without warning, the iron gate fell from the ceiling like a Hercules? Sealing Clover in.
What the heck? What's going on here?
Clover grabbed hold of the iron bars and shook them as hard as she could.
Hang on. I'll get it open.
Will you?
Crying out. You'll never do it on your own.
Junpei grabbed the bars and pulled. In a moment, Lotus joined him. The three of them pulled as hard as they could, but...
Damn it! It's not moving.
Yeah, it's almost like they're mechanically engineered.
Wait! Are you gonna give up? Just like that?
No, I'm not giving up. This has got to be another one of Zero's puzzles.
If it is, then there's gotta be a way to open it.
Junpei
That's
nodded.
what I was thinking. Now all we gotta do is find it. Lotus and I can look around out here. Clover, you're gonna have to see if you can find anything in there.
Oh, yes, I'm on it.
Seek a way out! Wow! Anyway, so we have our lab. Clover's in here. We're out here. We don't have really thick glass. I don't think even a bullet could break it. Junpei, do something, please. We're trying. Is this like an examination table? There's a creepy mannequin in here, you guys. That's crazy. We were talking about it the whole time. I don't know what kind of table this is, but it's... But part of it is all black. There's a pen laying over there. I think someone probably used it to make the table black. Well, if they only use the pen on one part of it, there's probably something underneath that pen. Clover, do you think you can erase it? Yeah, sure. Oh, this is a permanent marker. Junpei, do you know how to erase ink from a permanent marker? Actually, yeah, if you get one of those, like, Mr. Clean sponges. I forget what they're actually called, but it's like those white sponges, the magic erasers. They're a specific material. They actually do quite well to erase permanent marker. They probably don't have that here, though. Wonder what this is. This thing here looks like a voltmeter. And is this control for that? There's so many dials. Why don't you try turning one of them? Yeah, alcohol and acetone also work. Turn the dial a whole bunch, but even if I turn it on all the switches, nothing happens. It's a monitor for whatever experiment they're running. There's a bunch of stuff here, like resistance value and voltage. Power's off, so there's nothing on it right now. There are weird colored stains all over the sink. The stairs that came down, the bars and the gate are above me. It's a rack, there's a bunch of cables on it. Somebody cut the outer stuff off the cables. I can see the wires inside. Okay. And land this way. There's a door over here too. We're right there. I can hear her voice over there. Is this door gonna... Damn it, I can't open that. Clover, what about your side? It won't work. Can't even move the knob. Looks like this is the exit. We'll open. I don't think Zero would let us out there quite that easily. It's locked. Unlock it, blah blah blah. Figure that out in a bit. Is there anything, like, can I check the cabinets? No. It's a lot of stuff in here. I don't know, like, I don't know how we can use any of these. I can say for sure that I do know how to use at least one of these things. Which one? The one on top. I think it's a power cable. Power cable. Take that. 3-prong cable. Okay. Keyhole. Activation key. Doesn't appear to be doing that. I wonder how we're supposed to turn it on. Keyboard. Turns the clock to stop moving. One side of this thing is on the room, the other side extends into the laboratory where Clover is. In other words, the console in front of us is connected to the device in the laboratory. There's 2 levers. Do they activate something? Well, why don't you move one? Let's give it a try. Nope, doesn't look like anything happened. Okay. Monitor does not have a power cable, so the other end needs to be connected and the other end needs to be plugged on their desk. Can't use it. What's wrong? The cable has 3 prongs, but the socket only has 2 holes. It's not gonna fit, is what I'm saying. In other words, you're gonna need a plug to try. Well, in other words, you're going to need a plug to change the power cable to one with 2 prongs. My mouse, my keyboard. Lockers are a little larger than the ones on top. See if there's anything useful, and no, nothing. Ethanol! Alright. A bunch of steel lockers. Yep. Probably. Hey, Clover, would you use the ethanol? The clothes and the marker. Please don't look at me like that, you're scaring me. You trust me? I feel kind of special. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. You were just giving us attitude a few minutes ago about you understandably being really concerned and worried for your brother. Don't 180. Don't 180 be like, ooh, hee hee, tee hee, fingy point. No. Stop that. You just me. Soak it in the ethanol, then use it to wash off the stuff from the permanent marker. Whammon? Oh god. She got the cloth, but she seems to have a little trouble with the bottle of ethanol. When she's ready, I should ask her to get to work on the stuff on the table. Junpei, it's working. It's wiping up the permanent marker. There's some kind of weird drawing under all the permanent ink. So deal with the drawing Clover found. Maybe I should ask her to take another look at the table. There's a bunch of numbers in some kind of grid. Can't see it from here. Clover, you've got a pen and a notebook. Could you write those numbers down and then hand them to me through the bars? Stuff on the table seems to be kind of a hint. Here, I wrote them down. New material has been added to the file screen. What? Clover's note. A note Clover copied from the stand in the laboratory has 4 numbers written in 9 separate cells. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bottom right, top left, center. Okay, thank you. What does that do specifically? Unsure yet. We're locked. Okay. And check the boxes. Paper and stuff in them. What's in the boxes? They look quite full. Oh. Some of the experiments, but it's all really technical and I don't really get it. Magic square? I suppose. Maybe. There's nothing else in here. Yeah, this is a way out, this is a way out. Okay, so we have a grid of numbers. That's cool. We don't have a cable. This number is gonna be helpful. You know, I hope so too. Some cables with wire exposed. Well, okay. So we gotta find a different power cable with only 2 prongs instead of 3. Oh, not bad. That's down. There's not a whole lot we can do with this. Nothing else in there. Nothing in there. I just realized I still have this music going. There's other music in the game. Whoops. What if we just like took the fucking 3rd prong out, just like snapped it off? I know that's not how that works, however. Yeah. Hey game, would you like to do any experiments on humans probably? Imagine how much she looks so sad. What do you mean? Okay. Guess she does have to kind of crouch get down under there. Cable on monitor has 2. What does that mean? Can you unplug that and bring it over here? Well, I can unplug it, but it's connected to the main computer. I can't take it over to you. How about just the plug? What? The plug? Well, maybe more like a connector? It's the sort of thing that makes the plug with 3 metal things into a plug with 2 metal things. An adapter. Not useless, not useless at all. That's the thing we're looking for. Okay, can you hold on for a little bit? She goes and gets it. Unplugged, I'll have it over the bars. Here you go, thank you. 2-prong plug. Okay, but cool, thanks. Junpei, what do I have to do next? How I got you. Make sure this will work. Under the desk and plug it in. Let's turn the power on. I think anything's gonna happen. Why not? Well, it's not connected to the main computer. Never know until you try. Be optimistic. Junpei pushed the button in front of the monitor.
Oh, that worked.
With a soft hum, it turned on. Streams of letters that made no sense to Junpei began to scroll across the screen. Currently, we have updating RSF file. Make dir make underscore bc 27.3 seconds start. I'd hoped it would turn on, but he hadn't expected this.
Huh? It's running on its own?
It certainly looks like it.
Isn't that kinda weird?
There are monitors that have a built-in computer into them. And they look just like a regular monitor, except like a slightly bulkier monitor.
What?
Well, it's not connected to the main computer, right? There's just this keyboard and monitor. The only cable connected to this thing is the power cable we just plugged in. So, why is it working?
Maybe it's a wireless display.
Clearly this was a reasonable explanation to Lotus. That could also be the thing.
A wireless display?
Yes, it connects to your computer wirelessly, hence the name. Have you been living in a cave, Junpei?
I think he has. I'll be honest, I think he really has. You most certainly had not, but...
Is that normal?
Yes, at least where I worked.
Oh.
Oh, it stopped.
Pass with a colon.
Looks like we need to enter a password.
Again? There must be a hint around here somewhere.
Could you go take a look?
Yeah, I'm on it. What are you going to do?
I'll see if I can do something about this on my own.
On your own?
Yep, on my own.
Lotus?
Lotus pulled over the nearest chair and dropped herself onto it, in front of the keyboard. For a second, she stared at the screen. She kneaded her hands, knuckles popping, and twisted her back left, then right.
All right, let's kick some ass.
Lotus smiled to herself and rubbed her hands together in anticipation. Then, before Junpei had time to blink, she was typing at an incredible speed, the click-clack of the keys running together like a machine gun fire.
Wait, what?
That is not where your eyes are pointing, sir. They'd be pointing this way. They're not pointing towards her hands. Junpei was, for once, at a loss for words.
Didn't expect that, did you?
Of course I didn't! You're typing so fast, I can't even see your fingers!
Lotus grinned, pleased with herself.
Well, at any rate, you're pretty amazing.
The machine gun fire probably caused something else to jiggle a bit, but we can't be sure.
Did you fall for me again?
Whoa, 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 what do you mean, again?
What is with every female presenting character just like going after this very average man?
I'm not into you.
I know. Don't be so stubborn, shy boy.
Huh?
I'm not being stubborn, I am not shy, and I am not a boy. I am a young, healthy, 21-year-old man.
He must be sweating his balls off in that getup. Yeah, honestly, like, he's got a puffer vest. He's got what I'm assuming is part of the vest, but could also be part of, like, this, like, flannel shirt sweater thing.
I'm not gonna fall for an old lady like you.
She's not even that old. Suddenly, the guttural roar of a furious animal filled the room. Or so Junpei thought, for just a moment. Noticed his hand suddenly stopped, and his shoulders stiffened.
Old lady? Did you just say old lady?
She's not even that old.
Well,
Marty McFly looking ass on God. Truly. Ah, crap. Thought Junpei, I went too far. Sorry. Ah, crap. I went too far. Oh well, it was a nice life while it lasted.
I've had enough of you. Go somewhere else. You're bothering me.
what?
Go see if you can find a password hint or something. I'll try and open this from here. You're distracting me. Go. Now.
Lotus waved her hand in the universal gesture of dismissal. Junpei was clearly not wanted.
Fine, I guess I'll go.
Time to cut my losses. Oh, sorry. Time to cut my losses. And left as quietly and inoffensively as he could. Junpei wandered around the room for a while looking for anything that might help find the password for a computer. Unfortunately,
Nothing. No clues whatsoever. Clover didn't find anything useful in the laboratory either.
that's not true. She found a number grid.
Damn. Looks like we've hit a dead end this time.
But just as he was about to tell Lotus that his search had to return nothing,
All right. Bullseye. Junpei, I did it.
excited cheering erupted from near the monitor.
What?
He hurried back to find Lotus looking rather smug.
Let me see.
She gestured for him to look at the screen, and he did. The strange text from before was gone. In its place was something entirely different. 9 squares, arranged in a 3x3 square.
What is that?
I don't have any idea. It just showed up after I cracked the password.
You think it's a puzzle?
It certainly looks like one.
As she spoke, Lotus stood up.
Huh? Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
No, I can't do any more. It won't let me do any more programming. See? The keyboard. Nothing. So, there's nothing more I can do. Well, I guess I'll leave this to you then, Junpei.
What?
Let me take a break, all right? I did my part.
Well...
He was not sure what to say to that. She certainly had done her part. In fact, without Lotus, they probably would have run completely aground. I shouldn't rely on other people so much, Junpei thought to himself.
I guess you're right. Thanks, Lotus.
No problem. And make sure you know when you should thank people.
Now, I better take care of this myself. No more relying on anyone else.
Junpei crossed his arms and stared at the puzzle shown on the screen. Wowee, you remember that number grid we found? That's crazy. Alright, I solved it. Did you hear a noise just now? Yeah, I did. It sounded like something unlocking. Where'd it come from? Oh, Junpei, the lights on the lockers are all green. Must have unlocked it with a computer puzzle. It's more than one key in here. This one is small and looks like it goes in some sort of machine. This one has the Earth symbol on it. I think the Earth symbol matches the keyhole in a door on the A deck. Well, if that's the case, probably don't need the Earth key right now. Just tuck you deep into my pocket. Now, as for the other key... Calm? Alright. It was just at that moment that he heard a voice behind him. It was Clover.
Hey, Junpei, do you have a minute?
He put the puzzle aside for the moment and walked over to Clover.
What's up?
Well, never mind.
Hey, hold on a minute. What does...
Sorry, just forget about it. It's nothing.
Before you could say anything else, she spun around and ran back down the stairs.
What the hell was that?
After waiting a few minutes to see if she would return, Junpei sighed, shook his head, and went back to searching. Cool, thank you for wasting precious minutes of time that we definitely need. This key, the shape sure makes it seem like it goes into the machine. Turning it on, monitor's on, and it's full of letters. It's showing some kind of warning. Power restored to the experimental device. Emergency system will activate in the event of abnormal subject behavior. Okay. Okay. Clover. Junpei, this thing in the thing in here is on now. That's because we activated the power over on this side. Did you, like, play with it a little? Okay. Yeah, I'll turn this dial here. I don't think it's working. Nothing happened. Should ask her to look around the room again. This is monitors, a whole bunch of cables. That mannequin looks so sad. I got it, man. I'm starting to feel kind of sorry for it. Short flight of stairs. Am I... Drains for water. There's nothing here. Increase the voltage. Max voltage? Hey, wait a second. Oh, shit. What? I think, Clover, you just killed a man. Oh my god. The mannequin's head! Oh, that sounds like a fire alarm. What the hell? Fire detected. Fire detected. The emergency system will be activated. Evacuate the room immediately. Is it open? He's still shut. Okay. That's open. Look at the light. It's a screen. Emergency system activated. Disabled block. We can save Clover. Junpei! Come on, kid. Jump. She's safe. Oh man, the smoke is in some serious business. Time to close the door again, I think. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Damn, she's coughing so hard she can't even talk. Of course I'm not alright. What the hell took you so long, you big jerk? I was almost dead. I was going as fast as I could. You two. Number 2 again. We can do this later. Right now we need to get the hell out of here. That fire's not gonna stay in that room forever. You found it! We didn't take that long to open the fucking door. Junpei, Clover, and Lotus leapt out of the laboratory, slamming the door shut behind them.
Whew, thank God we got out of there.
Yeah, finally.
Oh, yeah.
All three collapsed against the wall, breathing heavily. Junpei's heart was pounding in his chest, and his whole body felt weak. He inhaled gulps of clean air, and with each one, he could feel his body begin to calm down.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
They nodded to each other and started off down the hallway. Before long, they found a few new doors, but all of them were locked.
Damn, none of these open. They're all locked.
How about that one?
Excuse me. The final door sat in the corner of the hallway.
Let's hope this is the door with the prize.
Junpei grabbed the door handle and was about to pull it open when a voice cried out behind him. It was neither Clover nor Lotus, but he recognized it. There was no doubt the voice belonged to...
Jumpy!
Huh?
He spun around. There, at the other end of the hall, Junpei saw human figures running towards him. 3 of them.
June? Santa! 7!
They stopped short in front of Junpei and his companions, gasping for air.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
What? But we didn't...
I could ask you guys the same thing. Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys! Could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found.
Hey, on the wall.
It's
a
another
of the
map.
ship's interior?
It says C deck.
Oh my god.
So it's the map for this floor then?
Door 7 and... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
This is the blank door. This is door 3. The map! Yippee! Yeah, this is door 3 over here. In fact...
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
No.
We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9.
Okay, yes.
We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. That's how the Nonary game works.
Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. This leads to...
He looked more closely. His surprise and excitement gave way to wariness.
Oh,
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
yeah.
As one, they all moved back towards the door Junpei had only a moment ago had been ready to open.
Almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map from the ship's interior off the wall, put it in his pocket, and followed the others. The 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a small semicircle. Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other 5.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
They nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would be.
We're back. In the hospital room.
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8.
Uh-huh.
You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
You don't think anyone might, after only just waking up, but it seemed that his brain was working well as ever. He had managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
He shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
7 smiled.
Anyway, I say we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Here.
7 tossed something small and metallic towards Junpei.
Nice catch.
Jeez.
He caught it and found that the object was a key.
I see. So this is Jupiter.
It looks like a 4. On it, someone had engraved the symbol. On it, someone had engraved a symbol very similar to a 4. He looked over at June, who nodded back. It had to be the Jupiter symbol.
I'm gonna let you hold on to that, alright?
Yeah, on it.
Junpei tucked the new key into his
So,
pocket.
how many unused keys do we have now?
There's
2?
the Earth key we found in the laboratory. The
Oh,
Saturn
3.
key card we found in the kitchen. And the Jupiter key you just gave me.
Junpei tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs...
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested that they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. It just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
I don't know. There could be something important over there.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
There was tears in her eyes, but she glared at Seven as hard as she could, just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. Seven looked everywhere in the room except at Clover and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Clover nodded once. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So, Seven, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh? Me?
Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. It looked like Seven was doing them too. At last, he gave up.
Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
Alright, let's get moving.
And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and Seven would discover what lay beyond door 3.
Okay, we're heading out.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
Uh-huh. Seven nodded as if this answer made much more sense and pulled the lever on the red.
Okay, we're off.
The door opened, and Ace, Clover, and Seven jumped through it. 6, 7, 8... After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
All right, we should get moving too.
Huh?
Get moving.
Where are we going?
Where do you think? To where the other keys are. To their respective locks. Everyone except Lotus seemed rather
Well, it
confused.
would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it? Let me explain.
Blah blah blah. We go to the Earth lock. Open that door. Blah blah blah. We go to the Saturn lock. Open that door. Blah blah blah. We go to the Jupiter lock and open that door. Should be self-explanatory because we have those specific keys and key card.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Yeah.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
They're at the end of the hallway lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
All right, Junpei, open it if you please.
Yeah, on it.
Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it into the keyhole. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a breath, held it, and opened the door as quietly as he could. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
Yes, because now we have easier access everywhere.
What do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we? I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
Yeah, dipshit. We can go to other places from here. Did you not see the map? Did you not realize there were other floors we can explore? That's sort of a big part here.
Of course there's a reason. Man, sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky.
Huh?
Neither.
This.
Jimmy pulled two things out of his pockets.
The Saturn key card. And the Earth key?
Did we not announce that we had these in the hospital room? Were you not listening?
I'm lost.
Oh, Lord. Santa cocked his head to one side like an inquisitive bird and looked at them. After several long moments, during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, the card and key meant, June took pity on him.
Don't you remember, Santa?
No.
On C deck, where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember?
Hi, boss. Welcome in. Hi, Cryptic. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. Oh, hi. My name is Lucian. You can call me Lucy. I'm your friendly neighborhood Big Titty Goth Kitty here to make your week a little bit better. How was Pokemon Infinite Fusion, if I remember correctly? Pun was being mean to me. Well, did you do something? Booby dance? Yeah. Wiggling around, sorry. They keep trying to make me pee? I don't need to pee? I deserved it, but still. What do you mean they kept trying to make you pee? Were they making you drink a lot of liquid? What happened? Why did... Raiders? What did you do? Babbling Brook, waterfalls. Oh, you kept playing like water sounds. Leaky faucet. Boss, you haven't peed in 20 minutes. I'm concerned for your health. Nothing. Hi, Percy. Nothing. We're innocent. I don't quite believe you guys. I've moderated in Bus's chat. I know you guys aren't innocent. I'm scared his bladder will pop. Well, thank you for the raid. Please go take care of yourself, get some food, get some water, use the bathroom, etc., etc. Thank you for bringing your community in. We're currently over here. I feel like a preschool teacher trying to reiterate to the characters that have knowledge about certain things because we just talked about these certain things. And now I feel like I have to be a preschool teacher and tell them all over again. Oh yeah, they're still being a little dumb. They're getting a little bit better. Just a smidge. They're getting a little bit better. Can't ask a lady if she took a leak, but girls are scary. I give you guys the full closure to ask if I have taken a piss today. Because I have medical reasons to have that question be a prominent question.
And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it.
Oh, VTubers are men. Oh, that's crazy. I have like a super advanced voice changer. How'd you figure that out?
And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think.
There definitely was.
So the two keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Yeah, and the reason we came through this door is so we had easier access to go to the fucking elevator. Have you drained the snake? Actually, the snake is missing. And we don't know where he went. So no.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, he's missing. The really princely dressed blind man, he's gone missing. June smiled, pleased with herself. So does Santa.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you say we split into 2 teams?
Yeah, the one-eyed snake. Ha ha ha. I've been hanging with a guy. Ew.
Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you two can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key.
Junpei handed the Earth key to Santa. They decided that their initial search would be brief.
We have no idea what's on the other side of these, so don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
What was auto-modded? The term one-eyed snake. Gotta eat. Have a good stream. Bye, Cryptic. Thanks for popping in. I decided the two teams split up. Junpei and June headed for the
There's
elevators.
a card reader next to the left elevator.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card.
Wow. A light on the upper left corner blinked to
Great.
life.
It looks like it's working now.
All right. Now, how do I call the elevator?
There's a single button on the right of the elevator door,
Oh, it only has the upside down triangle on it.
which usually means it goes down.
I guess there's no up button. Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down. That's a really ominous looking elevator.
Look, Jumpy.
June's voice was excited, but Junpei could hear a tinge of anxiety.
Sweet! It opened! Let's get going.
He grinned at June and stepped towards the open door. As he was about to set foot in it, he felt a hand on his arm.
Wait.
What?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
Junpei was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? She claustrophobic? June was probably afraid of being locked up alone with a boy, or that they could only go down. Maybe she's gotta piss. You know, that's fair. You know what the valid thing of they could only go down. We already know that D deck is flooded, so we only have a couple options, and we don't know where this goes down to. She was afraid because the only elevator button was pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor that they were on. As he thought about it, Junpei realized he hadn't seen elevators on the A or B decks near the central staircase, all of which meant that the elevator could only convey them to the lower decks.
Come to think of it, the lower floor, D deck, is completely underwater. An elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a motor noise, like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside.
Junpei jerked his head towards the interior of the elevator.
It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Well, if this is like a really airtight elevator,
Oh, you're right. They are.
that wouldn't be reasonable. Because if it was, you'd suffocate pretty quickly. She looked around at the elevator, slightly embarrassed.
Well, let's test it.
Test it.
Yeah, watch this. Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons. Oh, there's only two, E and C. Alright, I'll push E.
He pushed the E button and jumped out of the elevator. The door slid shut, and they heard the grinding of the motor as the elevator car moved down.
I think I can hear it opening on E deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
A few moments later, the elevator returned.
Yep, not a single drop of water to be seen. See?
Junpei couldn't resist puffing out his chest just a little bit. June, however, still looked confused.
What does that mean? How can E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you.
He pulled out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration.
I see. So is that why the ship hasn't sunk? The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Sure. Junpei continued talking as he closed the notebook and slipped it back into his pocket.
So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, alright?
But...
Come on, just do it, alright?
He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze and hopped into the elevator. He pushed the E button and the door began to close. June looked worried, her eyes darting back and forth as if she was trying to make a decision when suddenly...
I'm coming with you!
Huh?
At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors.
Hey, wait!
Yeah, watertight, just like the Titanic. Junpei jammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late.
Oh, crap. It closed.
The door had shut. He and June were in the elevator and was headed down to E deck. He was so surprised by June that he didn't even have time to think about what awaited him on the E deck.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez.
The elevator stopped and the door slid open. They tentatively stepped out and looked around.
It looks normal.
No fish going about their fishy business or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. There was, however, a blowfish, or at least something that looked very much like one. June's cheeks were puffed out and her mouth a tiny, intense frown.
Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded. Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
June looked around nervously, then exhaled.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
Yes, because we would be talking if we were underwater.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
Junpei thought about that for a moment.
We'd probably die.
Oh no. Don't be so casual about something like that.
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Now then...
Junpei glanced around the room they'd found themselves in. First thing he noticed was a set of thick iron bars. They ran the length of the room, separating the left elevator from the right one.
Iron bars. Well, we can't go over there.
Right.
Then maybe...
In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Junpei found an opening.
Well,
He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner.
it looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait, is that...
Let's check.
Junpei and June set off down the hallway at a brisk clip, somewhere between a run and a jog. Before long, they found themselves in front of the door. On it was the number written in bright red paint. 6.
I knew it!
This is a numbered door.
And indeed, there was a red bolted to the wall right next to the door.
But we can't do anything with only the two of us.
We better head back and let everyone know.
Yes.
Junpei and June turned and headed back to the C deck.
Wait, what's this?
On the way back, Junpei noticed a map on the wall.
Is this the map for E-Deck? I should take it with me. Huh, so you guys found door 1.
They met back up with Santa and Lotus, who had explained what they had found. Apparently, there was another numbered door on A deck, just like the one on E deck, beyond the door that the Earth Key opened. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the door.
So now we've located 2 new doors. The 6 door and the 1 door.
You know, it is interesting that E-Deck wasn't flooded.
Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought.
Well, we don't really know if all of E-Deck is safe. We only checked the area around the elevator.
Even so, it's still very interesting.
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Yes.
Then that means Zero planned all this out. Even the sinking. That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
Oh yeah.
It would have been a ton, that's for sure.
Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Yes, it does make sense.
That thought made all of them go quiet for a moment. It's a whole lot of not quiet. Time we head out. Good luck with the crazy dialogue, gamer. Thanks, Merrick. Have a good night. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared off into the distance at nothing. Hi, Lotus.
Yeah?
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
And why not? June looked up at Junpei with large, pleading
Yeah,
eyes.
you're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei, and I should be able to open door 1.
Huh? You guys leaving me behind?
8 plus 6 plus 5 is 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1.
Just kidding. All right, let's go.
Lotus's words were all the impetus they needed. Back to the large hospital room they went. Seek a way out. The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room.
Hey! Where the hell did you guys go?
It was 7.
7?
Ace was right behind him, and Clover was behind Ace, although she seemed to be hanging back.
What's wrong?
It looked as though there was something strange about them. 7 had the look of a man who'd seen a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from passing out entirely. For a long moment, they simply stood there, looking at one another. Junpei looked around nervously, waiting for someone else to speak. No one did. He looked at 7.
What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that?
7 was trying very hard to be angry, but something had shaken him, hard. His shoulders were trembling, and his voice was strained.
Snake was...
Uh-oh.
Snake is...
Uh-oh. 7 couldn't finish. He just looked away, his face twisted by... Junpei wasn't sure what. Instead, Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke.
Snake is... dead.
No!
He died, just as the 9th man did.
Oh no, he exploded? Oh no. It was as if all the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. Steak! Junpei felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel a cold sweat beating on his forehead and neck. June, Santa, and Lotus looked the way he felt. All 3 were frozen in place, their faces white.
Oh my god. That's not true, is it?
We should make sure.
Yeah, right. We should.
They nodded to one another and headed for the numbered 3 door.
Wait! Not that way.
What? Why not?
They stopped short and turned to look at 7. He was pointing at the door with no number.
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way.
As I said, 3. I know what happens. However, not everyone here knows.
It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Where is he?
The shower room. The left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there too to keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then let's go.
The new destination cleared, Junpei and his companions headed for the door with no number. Once in the hallway, it was easy to spot the metal door on the left wall.
This wasn't open when we passed here before.
But now, just as 7 had said, there was a broom stuck between the door and the frame, keeping it open.
Well, let's keep going.
They looked at it for a moment, then stepped inside.
Oh, it smells horrible.
Lotus wrinkled her nose and covered her mouth in disgust. Even Santa pinched his nose shut.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
It was just as bad as they said, perhaps worse. A hideous smell filled the air, so thick that they could almost taste it. It was sour, it smelled of fish and burnt meat. It worked its way through Junpei's nose and down his throat, to pound against the entrance to his stomach.
Ooh.
put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was in his stomach where it belonged.
Oh, Where is he? Where's Snake?
I didn't have to wonder where the body was.
There.
Nice red mist over there. There was blood everywhere. A few arms of the splatter reaching towards them as they walked through the door. All one had to do was follow the many radial arms to their source. The body itself was hidden behind a divider.
June, you should stay here.
But
Please, just do me a favor, okay? Alright?
He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder, as if to shove her into the ground like a tent pole, turned and walked towards the end of the divider.
I'm going in.
It felt like it took an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lotus followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Eventually, they reached the divider. They looked at one another and nodded, slowly. Junpei put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner. For a moment, he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew in that instant that he would take the image before him to the grave. What was left of the body sat in the sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast ragged hole had been torn into the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out like a fresh spaghetti. Interesting. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and became stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it.
Just like Ace said.
Santa's voice was strained. Junpei suspected he was holding down some vomit of his own.
Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
Oh, the face. It's horrible.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Interesting. Weird thing to note. Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. Ew. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks.
But the
Yummy.
clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
Lotus's voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Junpei had heard it catch in her throat. Oh, this is a weird angle to look at. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly into her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the ninth man was.
Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room, with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each one of them in turn, and continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it, alone, and waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but He probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Oh, that's strange. Usually he has his eyes closed, so seeing his eyes open is a little weird.
The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead. Snake was the only one who went through the door. And then, 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Junpei crossed his arms and grunted.
Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
Then that means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
Yeah, that's true. No one can be accountable.
Yeah. That means anybody could be a killer.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
June seemed shocked.
Can you say that so casually? You're implying that one of us is a killer.
Actually, at least 2 of us are a killer.
Well, not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers.
Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious?
Excuse
That's
me.
what
Sorry,
Zero
I'm getting
wants, you know?
a bit hungry here.
What Zero wants?
Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and loser. Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner, and those who don't are the losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Then does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes. Almost certainly Zero himself. If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero. He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
Good question.
Junpei hadn't really considered that.
If Zero killed Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
Junpei. Was Zero still on the ship with them? Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. I would feel that, at least for so far, right? We can't confirm anyone that found the internals for the Reds. And I don't know, there's been like things that don't quite add up, and it can't be particularly one of us that does these things. Like, it could be Zero, it could be one of us, but we don't know. So, benefit of the doubt, sure, why not? They might be here. Of course he was. That was obvious.
I don't...
Zero was somewhere on the ship, but Junpei had no idea where. Junpei mumbled to himself, lost in thought.
Where could Zero be hiding?
Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. The silence was cold and clammy, and Junpei could feel it crawling across his back and around his throat. Again, he heard the ghosting, moaning noise. And moments later, a person who looked more ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was a cold monotone.
I think Zero is one of us.
Dun dun dun! Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Eyes darted from face to face. One of those faces was the face of the jailer. But who? Was he one of them? Yeah.
Well, that's possible. possible.
Mm.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Meh.
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
No, there's a reason.
I've got a great reason.
There's a reason.
And what's that?
The bracelets.
He held out his left
Why are
arm.
the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet?
Huh. You got a point.
I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
Junpei let the question hang in the air and looked at the others. It was Santa who answered.
So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves.
Exactly.
That's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
7, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright then. I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Zero. Hence, Zero is one of us. 7 and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Zero is one of us.
No one spoke. Their faces were grim, but Junpei wasn't sure if they believed him or not. Finally, Lotus spoke up.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes, isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh, well, that's because...
Junpei choked. He hadn't thought of that, and he had to be honest with himself. He had no idea.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed.
Well, so much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Ah.
Junpei was painfully aware of their eyes on him, and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else, to look at. Then, in that horrible silence, they heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. 7, Clover, Junpei, I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
You're right, but...
Junpei couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say and sighed. 7 and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
Our next destination is... Mercury.
But maybe you and June should check it out first and then report back to us.
Alright, let's go, June.
Right. Here it is.
It sat bolted to the wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen between the 2 elevators.
The Mercury card reader.
We're using the card 7 gave us, right?
Yeah.
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
I think 7 said something like that.
I thought we got a key. Oh, we got Jupiter key. My bad.
Anyway, let's see what happens.
Light on the reader turned green and made a tiny electronic noise.
I guess the elevator works now.
Jumpy, I know it's only the 2 of us, but let's do our best.
What's with you all of a sudden?
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
Even so, I'm glad I'm with you.
Oh, first we need to find out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Just fully dismisses it. Oh. Okay, well first we have to go find out if the elevator comes up with
Just like we
water.
did before.
Junpei, you're so stupid.
Oh, here it is.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
Let's go.
Yes.
Once it had been checked for water, Junpei and June stepped into the elevator.
Look! Nearly all of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the seat and bottom button can be pushed.
We're on C deck right now, so the only one we can choose is bottom.
Yeah. Well, let's try it out.
Junpei hit the bottom button. The door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward.
Oh, so this is the bottom deck.
They stepped off and saw that the hallway to the right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end.
Hey, over there.
This is a numbered door.
This is the 8th one we found. There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase. They were doors 4 and 5. 3 more in the large hospital room. Doors 3, 7, and 8.
And the door we found on E deck, and the door Lotus and Santa found on A deck.
Which is 6 and 1.
It was a 6 on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door on A deck.
And now we found 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now door 2 stood in front of them, in front of Junpei.
That means...
Do you think the next door we find?
Yeah, I think so. The next one's gonna be door 9.
Despite himself, Junpei felt excited. There was something about that excitement that frightened him as well.
Finally!
Yeah,
You don't look very happy about it, though.
it's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You're right. We should keep our fingers crossed.
Let's head back.
Okay.
He did his best to put it from his mind and headed back to C deck with June.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 7 pieces.
The pieces of paper they folded up lay on the ground next to Junpei's legs. Everyone had written on paper and pulled from Junpei's notebook in an effort to pull together a blind vote.
Just double checking, but everyone wrote their code name and a door number they want, right?
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Can't believe we're voting here.
Why had they decided to vote that way?
We need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
They decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. They would allow people to force others to go through certain doors.
Yeah, quiet in the peanut gallery.
And he had a plan. It wasn't a plan he wanted anyone catching wind of, however, so he did his best to act calm as he began to open and read the pieces of paper.
All right, let's open these up. The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why?
No, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going.
He opened the second
Next
one.
is Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Junpei continued with the third, fourth, and fifth pieces of paper.
Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Wait a minute. There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
Whoa! That's pretty harsh. He's got some scars, but he's not like that bad. Jesus.
No, there'd be no point to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
But
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
She's not even that old. What the fuck?
I am not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
Barely.
So, last I checked, that's not a crime.
Maybe. But what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
Oh. Lotus's hair flared out like a mane of an angry
not
lion,
good.
and she roared with a voice that shook the walls.
Let go! Let go of me! I'm killing
With some difficulty, Ace managed to restrain her.
Junpei, read the rest.
Right.
Junpei tore his eyes away and looked down at the 6th piece of paper. He opened it.
June wants door 6.
Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
All the papers, save Junpei's, had been read. He did some quick calculations in his head.
So this was everyone's vote. Ace and Clover requested door 1.
This was the door on A deck, near the central staircase.
7 and Lotus requested door 2.
This was the door on the bottom deck, and could be reached by taking the elevator to the bottom of the ship.
Santa and June requested door 6.
This was the door on E deck and could be reached by taking the elevator near the central staircase down.
Then the door I should choose is...
It took him less than a second to run the numbers. He opened the 7th piece of paper and spoke.
Okay, the last one is mine. I want to go through...
Alright, chat. Which one are we going through? And then we're gonna take an end here. We're gonna save. Yes. Do we want door 1, 2, or 6? Again, it's not super important which one we choose because we will go back and get them later. 6? You want door 6? You want to be with June and Santa? Go through door 6.
I want to go through door 6.
Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. It read Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it, after all.
That's a problem.
June spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what she
None
said.
of these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Clover and I chose door 1.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
The digital routes don't match up either.
We've got similar problems. Junpei and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we going to do?
So much for the draw. Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
Why don't 7 and Lotus go through door 1 with me?
Her face was cold and flat, as was her voice, but her logic was sound. 7 and Lotus looked at each other. 7 plus 8 plus 4 is 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 1 and 0 is 1. The first problem resolved, Ace spoke up.
What about me?
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Yes.
Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Me always picking the doors that cause issues, yeah. That seems par for the course. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so.
Huh. I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind. This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6.
7, Lotus. What do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
Alright then, we're good to go.
See you later.
Wait, Clover! Don't move on your own!
Oh, I'll be going too then.
Yeah, be careful.
We should get going as well.
At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck, where door 1 was, near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. The ride to E deck was a silent one.
This is E-Deck.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
All right, let's go.
Santa's words jolted them to action, and they stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. Before long, they arrived in front of door 6.
Here it is. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Then let's get to it.
One by one, they put their palms over the red. With a soft electronic noise, it authenticated each of them. The door opened, and all at once, the 4 of them leapt through it.
Hey, I found it! It's right there!
Fortunately, the den was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd enter through. They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on the authentication one by one.
It stopped.
Yes, it stopped.
The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat.
Whew. I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
You got that right. Once I'm out of this hellhole, I'm taking a nice long vacation.
I agree.
With that, the doom and gloom from before was done, and the mood turned somewhat lighter.
All right, let's go.
With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door.
This door looks heavy.
But it's not locked. I'm opening it.
He took hold of the bar that served as its doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. It was gargantuan and made entirely of metal, none of the accents of wood or tile he'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
And we're gonna call it there. Because we're in the steam engine room. Yippee! It says bottom deck. Wait, what? We went to E deck. Okay, sure. But thank you all for joining me. We went a little longer than I had anticipated, but that's okay. I hope you all had fun though. Let's see. We can go raid somebody. At least get the bad ending first. No, we're gonna get a bad ending later. We're gonna get all the endings. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go through all the routes. We're gonna get all the endings. Don't worry. I need to go eat dinner. I'm hungry. We have Aza VT. I believe they're a Hellhound VTuber of sorts. We have Flan. Let's go say hi to Aza. Yes, even the hidden one. We'll get there eventually. Just don't worry about it. We're gonna go say hi to Aza. Go ahead, copy one of those. First one's for subscribers, second one's for followers. They are playing Fiat Rhythm, Final Fantasy Barline. So if you like Final Fantasy, if you like rhythm games, if you like both, you're gonna have a fun time. But go say hi to them. They're super cool, super chill. I haven't seen them on in a while, so I think maybe they're on a hiatus for a bit. But I hope you all had fun. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. We'll be back on Sunday for more Omori. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream Friday at all for Valentine's. If I do, it'll be a dating sim-esque game. If not, then I won't, but that's whatever. But I will see you guaranteed on Sunday. So until then, stay safe, stay hydrated. Don't go into a murderous saw trap like thing of a replica ship or a ship of some sort, just don't do that. It's a bad time. I'll see you then. Bye bye.